Welcome to Game Changer World. John, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I want to talk to the big guy down below. Bear, how you doing tonight, brother?
What's up, guys? Dude, that intro gets me hyped like crazy. Holy shit.
Was it the music or the cookie? Because I know both are
The
kind
cookie
of...
was cool too. The cookie I was watching that like very intently, like this is cool.
I don't know, like it's kind of fun to follow the whole thing. And great one
I did
already.
for a while. I did.
Our West Coast correspondent already checking in said, "Does Bear like cookies?"
Love them.
Reed Harris Cooper, Bear in the house, HAUS. We'll be talking about that tonight. You got a couple longtime fans in here, dude.
Sweet. All right. Hell yeah. That's
you do.
Cool.
I'll say a couple hellos because the room's filling up. Clown, great one. Reed Harris Cooper, the Crow Fairy Tale. Havoc from TJ. East Coast correspondent Frankie is also in here. Eddie Davila, Zach. Oh my goodness, guys. Yeah, keep rolling. Necro Eric, good to see you guys. Welcome. What a night tonight. All right. I love to do an intro. Skittle's also in here. Nice to see you, buddy. I'm going to do an intro for you, Bear. Relax for a couple minutes here. I just want to catch up the fans on all the wonderful things you've done, and you've done a couple. So, all right. All right, here, listeners, we have a very special guest with us tonight, Bear Bronson, aka Bronson, Bulk Bronson, Joe Bronson, and House Blazer. Hailing from Long Island, New York, he's 29 years old with 11 years in-ring experience. He was trained at Creator Pro Wrestling Academy and is currently a trainer at Creator Pro Wrestling Academy. He's wrestled a total of 468 documented matches in his career so far, with the most he's wrestled in 1 year at 79 in 2019. Overall, he averages 45 matches a year. He's already at 44 this year. Outside of his appearances at GCW, the top three companies Bears made the most appearances for were AEW 79 times, Creator Pro Wrestling 66, and Beyond 62 times. He's a 9-time champion and the current Blitzkrieg Pro Tag Team Champion with his awesome real-life tag team partner, Gabby Forza, as the Savage Gnomes. Bear averages 255 days per major title reign, with his longest title run being 659 days with the Wrestle Pro Tag Team Champion as the Iron Savages. Sorry, but that one took a second. That's a tongue twister. He's also a 2-time FBW Tag Team Champion with AJ Specter, and last notable, a 224-day Chaotic Wrestling Tag Team Championship run as Bear Country. He debuted on the PWI 500 at number 491 in 2022 and the PWI Tag Team 100 number 91 in 2023. Bear's first match at GCW was on June 8th of this year at GCW's Cage of Survival. His debut match versus Slade is currently ranked number 23 in the greatest matches in GCW history, voted on by fans. Bear Bronson has quickly carved out his own place on the independent wrestling scene. He's a towering force, blending raw power with surprising agility. He's connected deeply with independent audiences. His charismatic presence and unyielding determination have made him a standout performer, turning every appearance into a memorable spectacle. With his unique style and boundless potential, Bear Bronson's undoubtedly one of the brightest stars on the independent scene today. And this is what makes him a game changer. Listeners and fans, I'd like to welcome to the show, Mr. Bear Bronson. How you doing tonight, Bear?
God damn. Took me down like memory lane there, dude. Holy shit. You're like naming shit up I haven't thought about in years. I'm like, holy.
It's all important steps, brother. You've done a lot.
Killed that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. More keep coming in here. Braden, there's several others. Thank you again. Debhausen in here. Thank you so much for showing up. Yeah, we're all it's flying in. There's a lot of people in here, so we'll just take it for what we can. I'll just kind of kick off real quick here. You grew up loving Stone Cold, John Cena, Batista, Triple H. How old were you when you started getting into indie wrestling?
So, okay. My first introduction to indies ever was CZW, because I thought at a really young age, Ring of Honor to me was just weird. I don't know. I just didn't. I didn't connect with it as a kid, just because like I obviously appreciate it so much more now as an adult. But for me, growing up, it was all about car crash wrestling. And when I found out, you know, all my favorite matches, if I was showing friends matches, it was always like TLC or Money in the Bank, or you know. It was never like watch just this traditional singles match. And that was just, I just loved car crashes. And when I had found out, I would say probably when I was like, I think when I was like 12, 13 years old, I found out there was things out there more hardcore than hardcore wrestling.
Yeah.
So, because I mean, I think my first introduction to anything outside WWE was TNA. And TNA for me, the first TNA match I ever watched live was Ultimate X Styles versus Petey Williams versus Chris Sabin.
Oh.
And Final Resolution 2005, I believe. And so that was just that was first anything outside WWE. And then when I was like 12, 13 is when I like discovered CZW and how relatively close it was to me. It was Jersey, Philly, as opposed to Long Island. Me and my dad didn't mind driving. So when I discovered that on YouTube, is when me and my dad started taking trips out. And I didn't want to go to really any other indie shows besides that. So I would say about 12, 13 years old.
You were getting your death match and your independent right there together.
Yeah. And it was not immediate at first. We went to like 1 or 2. And my dad at first was like, this is way too much for like a 13-year-old, 12, 13-year-old. But then that didn't last at all because we just started going to them nonstop. Because he deep down, he loved it too. He just didn't want to admit it. And that leads us to this month where actually my dad and my brothers have tickets to Homecoming. So I'm like, that to me, that's going to be like a full circle thing to me.
Hell yeah. We're going to have to remember that too. We'll tell the fans to give it a little extra oomph for you when you come out the curtain.
Cool.
They give it anyway, man.
Just treat them well. They're
going to need our help.
They're going to be on edge the whole time. So actually before the Slade match, I put out a picture online of me, my dad, and my younger brother at Cage of Death 15, where Mondo came back.
Yeah.
And we're in the front row and we're on opposite hard cam the whole time. So I put out a photo of that right before the Slade match, just as like I don't know. I just thought it was cool. To me, the Homecoming's pretty full circle.
There you go, guys. There's going to be a couple thousand listening to this one. So put it out there now. By all means, get ready for it. Now, when you were listening or were you watching independent wrestling, did any of your favorite wrestlers change? Did you incorporate some new favorite wrestlers over that time?
Absolutely. Because I was getting pretty sick of WWE until Punk's pipe bomb promo. I feel like a lot of other people agree with that. And before that pipe bomb was when I would started paying way more attention to like, I love the Switchblade conspiracy. And anything like, because CZW then led me to like other things, like other deathmatch tournaments and other like, because I to me it was just at first like Tournament of Death, Cage Death. And then you're like, what's King of the Deathmatch? What is this? Like, what is this stuff? Because like Cactus Jack, like being in Japan, that's like before my time really. Like, because I wasn't even, I think I was, because that was 95, I believe, right? When
93, 94.
I was born in 95. So,
that
stuff. So like, it's cool to look back on when you're like growing up, but like that was not living through that, So, that's when, it was like CZW was like my first introduction to that stuff. And then that's when I started kind of exploring and, and digesting different things just because WWE was just so boring at the time. And I believe I wasn't really into what TNA was doing either as a fan. So I was, but just, I don't know. It just wasn't hitting for me. And that's where I really started being like, okay, I'm still very much a fan at heart. What else is out there?
Yep.
And actually that was even my first introduction to discovering like local indies, even just to like go to and hang out and just like, what else is there?
Yeah. I think that's what every fan does. The bigger the fan, the more they dig through the pile to try to find the good toys,
Yeah. And then it was cool to see during that time, like I would say the big one for me was like John Moxley. you know, because like
Yeah.
even just like seeing his first like or his tournament of death, like when him being in it and then being like, oh my god, he got signed to WWE, and then you know seeing him and just then going to the Shield, and I remember feeling like such a cool fan because I was at his first WrestleMania and being like, these people don't even know he was rolling around in glass and blah, 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 whatever. You feel like such a smart fan and stuff. But yeah, that was very much like, yeah, I was a heckler. I was very much a
You were
heckler.
one of those, huh?
Me and my dad, it's like, yeah, we were. So I remember I remember there was a show. It's where my dad let me use cuss words for the first time. I think I was in like 3rd grade, and we went to a show on Long Island. It was a Ring of Honor show where there was supposed to be TNA talent. And there was such a bad blizzard. It was the same week that Orton said Eddie's not in heaven, he's down there in hell. So I remember everyone was talking about it. And there was such a bad blizzard that TNA pulled their talent. And there was a huge fuck TNA chant that broke out throughout the building, and my dad let me chant it. And that's like a core memory. I was in like 3rd grade and he let me chant fuck TNA, you know, whatever. So core memory right there.
Dude, that's a good one too. The first time you get okayed to say the F word, that's huge.
Yep. Yeah.
Dude, I don't think I was ever okayed for that when your
very
grades
much like,
ahead
don't
of me.
tell mom, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
So
B, is there a fan question here you want to try to find here?
Yeah, Necro Eric asks, why does Bear do all of his interviews in his vehicle?
So honestly, I feel like I the real answer to that is because it's most comfortable, and I'm just always out. And I'm always doing these interviews in between like gym sessions, or I just taught Creative Pro Wrestling class at 7 p.m. to 9:30. And I literally just hopped in my car. I went to the 7-Eleven parking lot because the lighting here is really good.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I just got, you know, my wife and her brother-in-law at home, and I mean my brother-in-law at home, and you know, I don't want to disturb people.
No, I get that. Dr. Redacted just jumped in here. He said, shout out to Long Island. Long Island. There we go.
Long Island.
Shout out to Long Island deathmatch, he said.
That's a joke. That's got to be a joke because I'm sure he knows we have the worst athletic commission ever.
Yeah.
And we can't do anything. So it sucks.
Oh, well, let's see here. My next good one here. So you started training once, but it just wasn't the right time. Eventually you started at Creator Pro. Were you just too young your first time?
Yeah. So I actually had nothing wrong with the school I was going to. I was going to NYWC, where actually Myers at first, that's where he trained with Mikey Whipwreck. And I believe I joined there for like a month in like 2012 or something. And yeah, I just decided I wanted to finish high school first and get that out of the way and then see. And I was going to join back, but then that was the year Creative Pro had opened. And I was like, well, let me go check out that school first because it's fresh, and fell in love with it my first day. So I just hopped right in, and, you know, I'm still friends with people from NYWC, and, you know, it's all blended pretty much anyway.
So then I'm kind of wondering, do you do the eyeball test, or would you generally encourage younger kids then to go that same route?
I would say at least finish high school first. But there you know what though, there are plenty of other people that don't, and I think everyone just has their own respective journeys, and you know, there are plenty of people that are killing it that didn't even finish high school. I would just say finish high school first. Actually, I'd probably even say go to college.
Yeah.
At least for a little. Just because
or just secure a good job, you know, secure a flexible, well-paying job.
Because I look back and I was very all in on wrestling, because I mean, my parents are super cool, and they're very like, if this is what you want, which they were not surprised at all. They were like, you are going to treat this like it is a career. Like, you're not going to be partying with your friends on the weekends. You're not going to be fucking around. Like, I don't care if you're booked or not. You're going to go build a ring and meet people, and
sweet.
You are going to make this your life. And, you know, I was like, yeah, that was very much so. But looking back, I am so lucky I didn't like break my neck and get paralyzed or break my legs or anything, and or else I'd be fucked. So I just things worked out luckily for me. But I think I would tell people to have a plan B. I didn't, and it worked out for me. But have a plan B
and save as much as possible.
And save, yeah, because sleeping in your car isn't great.
Well, then, in your earlier years, who took you under their wing the most?
Ooh, Myers, definitely Myers. He's been with every step of the way. And it's funny. I was talking about it earlier today. He's really been there for me through like every chapter, pre-AEW, during AEW, getting released, you know, sort of thing. And even in this deathmatch world, he's kind of like, listen, I get it, but like, be careful. And very much, he watches everything, even if he's not. He's not. Let's just say he's not thrilled.
Right.
He's not thrilled because he's like he really believes in me as a wrestler, and deathmatch is definitely one of those things where I'm like, you're either about it or you're not. I feel, and I would never force anybody to be like, you know, if someone tells me, oh, I don't get it, I'm not going to look at them and be like, how do you not get it? It's like, dude, it's we're mutilating ourselves, you know?
Yeah.
But I all of my friends understand, which is the most I could ask for. So, but some of them have watched live and been horrified. Actually, my family has taken to it way better than my friends. So,
well, it sounds like you have a wrestling fan as a dad.
Big time.
That matters.
Oh, he's a big mark. He has his own Twitter, and he ats Tony Khan and FTR and talks shit to them. And
we won't give it away on here. Let him be.
No, yeah,
let him be anonymous.
Like, I'm like, I don't care. I don't give a shit. You're your own person. Do whatever you want.
He's a fan. He's allowed to have an opinion.
I'll never be embarrassed of my dad, and I'll never silence him. So he's very passionate, very, very passionate.
B, we have another one here. This isn't a question as much as this is a statement. Our East Coast correspondent, Frankie, is in chat. He said, again, Bear, I apologize for being so blasé about your debut versus Slade, but I think we can all agree it turned out okay.
Don't like, I was talking about it before we went live. Like, that was pressure I feel like I needed. I personally love that. And I even said before we started, I wish there was more of that, just because like it is cool that like wrestling is such a positive environment and stuff like that. But I think like, you know, you're just honest, you know, you didn't do anything, you didn't say anything, like, you know, whatever. It's like, you saw the match graphic and it's just a match. I could go on for a while about this. That there was a lot of trust put in me to open up that show. I could have fucking shit the bed, bro. Like for all like, and I've never touched glass, and we had all these things planned, and I had a lot of ideas and all that shit, but like I could have touched the first thing of glass and been like, I'm done. These, no one, Brett doesn't know. These guys don't know.
So real fast, that's your first time. That's your first time with glass in deathmatch?
That match with Slade was my first time I ever touched glass.
Okay.
Wow. And there's stories behind that too, and it's really funny. So I guess I'll expand on that. So what's really funny is my interactions with Brett and these guys like are leading up to this day are very brief. We did not like chat it up or have these ideas and stuff like that. Everything was just kind of like, okay, this is what we're doing. Because I went to the show in Philly and briefly met Brett. He didn't even know it was me at first. Just because I'm not like, I'm Bear Bronson. I'm like, oh no, I'm a fucking jobber on TV. No one knows, you know. So like, that is in Philly where I got to just briefly talk to Brett, be like, hey, this is something I'd like to try, and I have a lot of interest in it. And he was like, well, what's the deal with AEW? You know, whatever. And I was like, well, my deal is up in June 1st, it's up. And after that, I'd like to, you know, and I was supposed to have a match in May. at the Maryland show, but I had heard that the commission there is pretty rough, and I had sent a text to, I believe it wasn't Brett, it was somebody else that talks to Brett, and I was like, hey, if somebody could communicate, like, that's just not the first impression I'd like. If it's okay, I'd like to do it another time. And they got back to me and they're like, oh yeah, no, we're gonna do it another time. And that's when the graphic came out of Cage of Survival, and I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
all right, cool. So these are things I'm just finding out when everyone else finds out. And then I saw the graphic with Slade, and I was like, let's fucking go. Okay. And I'd showed up the day of, saw Brett talking to somebody, and I was just like, hey. And again, we had not talked much at this point. And I was like, I have a few ideas. If it's cool, I can run by you. And he was like, sure. And one of those ideas was, I noticed you guys do a lot of lift spots into the ring. I feel like a way to make it different would be to do one outside the ring, maybe in another area. And he was like, that's cool. And then he kind of just threw in there, he's like, I'm kind of thinking of having you guys go on first. Is that okay? And I was like, oh fuck, sure.
Straight into the fryer.
Yeah. So that's kind of just how this stuff turned out. And then what they do, I'm sure I could talk about this. What they do before the matches is they get with each match to know what gimmicks need to be, like what weapons need to be out there, right?
Yeah.
So me and Slade are talking to Brett and somebody else. I can't remember. I believe it was Chad. But we're talking, and we're like, we need this. We'd like this number of bundles. We need maybe a box. We need this, whatever. And Brett and Chad look at each other. They're like this. And they go, you've never touched glass before, right? And I was like, no, it's my first time. And they go, okay, well, this is a lot of glass. Are you sure? And I was like, yeah. And inside I'm having this more like this dilemma where I'm like, am I sure? But I was very confident. I really wasn't second guessing myself at all. Because me and Slade are boys, and I've known Slade for years. He doesn't have many friends at all, but I'm one of them. And it's just somebody that, as as unpredictable as he is, I trust him a lot, and he trusts me. So that was where it was just this really funny moment where they're like, okay, if you're, there's a lot of glass, if you're sure, okay.
Yeah.
But they put a lot of trust in me. There's a lot of stuff for the first match, and I'm grateful for that, because for all they knew, and that's how I started this whole thing, was for all they knew, I could have they don't know me at all as a person. So that could have been a horrible way to start off their show if it went horribly,
Yeah.
If I was,
and it would have been your butt too. It would have been your butt,
Oh, I'd be done, man. I'd be done. Like, they don't know. They really don't. I haven't known these guys for years or anything. We just met, and these are my first interactions with all these guys. So it was a lot of trust, and it was really cool. Really, really cool. And I'm happy I'm happy they trusted me, because I really did go into that believing in myself and believing in Slade as well. And Slade too, because a lot of the talk is about me and stuff like that, but Slade is in a position too where he's like, man, he's like, I need this match too. So I'm really excited to he told me, he's like, I will do whatever you want. Like, he was very much like, he told me in confidence, he's like, I want this to be whatever you want it to be. And, even with the lift, which, by the way, I will say, the lift was supposed to go higher. We were supposed to be, because we went on the lift before the show started, and we went all the way up to the ceiling. And everyone below, like, there's roster people below, they're like, are you sure about this? They're also like, don't touch the pipes, because if they explode, this whole show's done.
Yeah. It would flood.
Yeah, it would flood. So I was looking at it, and I was like, yeah, no, we're okay. We'll be cool. But the lift has a weight limit to where if there's too much weight on it, it'll stop. So actually, if you watch the footage back, it stops. And I tell Slade, keep trying. So that's why he actually tries for a couple more seconds, and you hear the bell, but it's not rising. So we just said, fuck it. And we're just like, it's going to be cool either way. And it was, thankfully. It stopped at a nice spot, but just, fun fact, it was supposed to go very high.
Is there another question you want to jump in here real quick before I drill Bear a little more with mine?
Yeah. So Ishmael was kind of asking, how did you get into death matches? And I guess you kind of did right there. That explained it. Your first death match ever. Anything else you want to add to that, or no?
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, I've been a fan of them for a long time, and not many people know that. But, well, they do now because I talk about it a lot in interviews. But, like, before that match, no one really knew. And I understand there's a lot. Since then, I've gotten close with a lot of death. I was friends with deathmatch wrestlers already, but I'd gotten a lot closer since that match with people. And I did expect, and I don't blame anybody for thinking this at all. You see match graphics come out and you're like, oh, great, another guy that wants death matches for clout, right? Because it does bring that sort of like, oh, this is different, and whatever. And there are people out there, and I'm not insulting anybody, but there are people that do these matches for the wrong reasons. And my reasoning was, when I got into wrestling, that stuff was very not interesting. When I started training, that stuff is very taboo. It's very like, oh no, that's not, you don't want to do that shit, and as a new student, you're like, oh, okay. And you stay on the path. And, along the way, it just wasn't in the cards. And coming out of AEW, a big part of this journey for me was, I'm going to, from this point on, I told my wife, I sat down with my wife, we had dinner, and I was like, from this point on, I'm only doing things I want to do. And if people don't like that, fuck them. And I had explained to her, because she's very unfamiliar with death matches at this point. She is now, but she's very unfamiliar. And I told her, like, listen, there's a lot of things I want to attack coming out of this contract, but this deathmatch stuff, this is just something I need to try for me to reconnect with the fan again, that I'd lost that connection for a while. Just when you're in that system of AEW and you're kind of, you really lose touch. If you're in my position, not everyone has their own stories, but I'd lost touch with the fan in here. And that was something, shout out to Gab with the cruel stuff. That I could talk about that later too. It's so sick. I really needed to do that just for me. And I even told her, I was like, listen, if it sucks and people think I suck, I'll never do it again. Whatever. I need to try it. I just need to. It's something I've always fantasized about. And she was fully supportive of it. She was like, whatever you need to do that makes you happy. So that was why. That's what got me into it. That's what got me wanting some sort of match on a, I didn't think it'd be one of their biggest shows, but on a, big platform, and with the right person at the right time and all this stuff. And and it was everything I wanted to be and more. And then I really learned that I really do love it. And after that match with Slade, I had a lot of people hit me up, like, all positive across the board, but a lot of people in my circles are worried, because they're like, this isn't going to be something you do all the time, right? And at first, I was very much like, no, like, I'm only going to do it sparingly, like, when it matters, stuff like that. But the fan in me just kept saying yes to stuff because I really genuinely wanted to. And I haven't regretted one single thing yet.
Fantastic.
I really do genuinely love it. Actually, the Beastman match was not supposed to be deathmatch. That was my choice.
That turned out really well too.
Yeah, because Brett was very like, well, it's up to you. We have the stuff if you want it, but no, if you guys could just have a match if you want. And I was like, no, I want to do it. Like, I really want to. So I was like, yeah, let's fucking go, dude. I'm fucking fired up. So that's kind of, it's just been a very cool trajectory.
Well, this kind of ties in because we were talking a little bit about training. You love deathmatch wrestling, but it's a little different when you have to study it. As a trainer, did you do any studying of deathmatch wrestling before you came in here? Like, maybe just see how the tubes are swung, or how to take a, like, I don't know if you did or not, or did someone just crash course you in the back?
So I'd done both. So I had turned my tape study completely over to deathmatch, to where I actually, for a moment, stopped watching traditional wrestling altogether, and just I've always had my finger on like the deathmatch scene and what's popular and what's going on and who's who and stuff like that, and just genuinely as a fan. But that's when I learned, okay, this match is coming up. That's when my tape study completely flipped over to that stuff. But I also am lucky to have friends in the deathmatch world. One of the people I am in contact with all the time is like somebody like, excuse me, Ricky Shane Page, and he's somebody who was like, he gave me very sound advice. He was one of them. Even like I'm always around Alley Catch, so like I'm like, hey, you know, just what do you got? I like to just pick people's brains as much as I like to go into things on my own. Why not use the resources if they're available?
Absolutely.
Tremont, he's another one. I did ask, like, you know, just, and he's the coolest. You know, everybody before and now, everybody has been super welcoming and very. I feel like if anybody doubted at first, it's changed. And it's been really, really cool. But yeah, I did ask a lot of things. I watched a lot of things. One of the things I was very unsure of was gusset plates, because I've seen them.
Yeah.
But I was very like, how, you know, I don't know, just very unsure. I didn't even know what to think. I wasn't like, no, but Slade had brought it up, and he was like, you know, it is a really good way to get color. And when you're doing all this shit, you kind of don't want to take a tiny little razor blade and, you know.
Exactly.
So I was like, okay, that's an attractive point to me.
Yeah.
And
well, it's like a get it over with quick kind of thing, and the results are so good that
the results are guaranteed.
Yeah.
So like, so we did it, and I was like, oh, that wasn't. It was bad, but like, I don't know.
The head isn't terrible. I've said this before, because I actually have, like, I think it's 18 stitches across the forehead. The head isn't terrible when it comes to pain, but it bleeds like a son of a bitch.
Bleeds like crazy. And then I did know I did not. Nobody told me to do this. I did not want to wear a shirt. No one forced me to. If I wore a shirt, I don't think anybody would have said anything. I didn't want to. That was my main thing. I was like, I know I want to wear jeans. I don't want to wear my gear. And I have like the little singlet, just to, you know, I got a little muffin top going, so I like to just keep it covered up.
Keep it in. Keep it in. Yeah.
Keep it in, you know, it falls out. It falls out, but you know, what are you gonna do? But I really did not want to wear a shirt. Just because, I don't know, like,
it's a rite of passage. You're being baptized in glass, you know?
Yeah. That, and like, I did not know it was gonna look that crazy. And I didn't really in the match until I watched it back. I knew my back was bleeding, but watching it back, I was like, oh man, I was fucking, like, Tremont came up to me right away. When I got to the back after that Slade match, he was among a lot of people, but he was right front and center right there, to just give me the warmest,
give you love.
He gave me the most love ever. And he told me, he's like, you got wife beater back. And I was like, really? Like, you know, I can't see my back, you know? So like, until somebody showed me footage and showed me a picture, I was like, oh shit. Like, it was pretty nuts. But yeah, that was my main thing. I did not want to wear a shirt. And
so Reed earlier asked, did Bear try explaining to Brian that you want your back to look like Jun Kasai?
I'm sure Brian would love to hear that. I'm sure that's his favorite thing to hear.
Well, I'm sure at first he'd be like, who's Jun Kasai? If we're talking about Brian Myers, I'm sure.
Myers.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what he would say. But if I showed him, because I showed my wife and it scared the shit out of her, but he'd probably just look at me and just, because he's not like an overly, like, he's not a dramatic person at all. I think he would just look and go, and just, you know. But yeah, I think it's cool. I don't know.
Dude.
And If the scars get too bad, I'll just get like a big back piece or something. I love tattoos.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I like that
so far,
idea.
I like it, but we'll see.
Have you, or in time will you consider deathmatch wrestling to be one of your offerings as a trainer, or is that something you're wanting to kind of stay away from?
No, you know what? I think like I actually think it's one of the coolest things about Creative Pro Wrestling with the talent that we've put out. I have a sense of pride of being their hardcore guy. And now to a new level, like their deathmatch guy, I guess. To whereas like if there were any students that came to our school and they were like, actually, I came to learn from you with this stuff, I think I'd be proud. I think I'd be like, okay, cool. Like, because Creative Pro Wrestling is where we will train you to be a wrestler, you know, to the traditional fundamentals and all that stuff. But if I could teach you to do this stuff safely, I think it's really cool. You know, there's other places you can go too. I know like Tremont's definitely the guy to learn that stuff from, you know, with his students and stuff like that. But if you're Long Island based and that's something you want to get into, I don't think I would ever turn anyone away, or I would never be like,
There
oh,
you go.
you know, I think that'd be really cool.
All right, so I want to go back because since we're talking about Brian real quick, what's the most, and maybe it's not Brian, but what's the most unexpected advice you've gotten from a veteran wrestler that you maybe didn't take seriously and then it ended up ringing true?
Ooh,
anything gear related? Yeah. That's a rough one. We can always come back to that one too.
I've never been asked that before.
Yeah,
I don't
know what I mean? Like,
because the thing is, I actually keep like the people I get advice from, I keep that circle pretty small.
Yeah.
Because I have my trusted people that I really, even if I don't believe it at first, something like Brian's on that list, absolutely. Where like if he gives me advice and I don't like it, I'm like, well, I trust you, you know. Because I do believe, even if he doesn't want to admit it, I am like kind of his spirit animal to where like he's like living through me with this stuff. Maybe not this stuff, but like he's an ECW guy at heart. So even like he gave me a little like, you know, because Limitless Wrestling they had a big show this weekend with like 2,000 people, and him and I got to brawl throughout a crowd, and it was just so fucking rowdy. It's crazy. And that was something that like we had together that I was very proud of, and even he was very proud of. And he's put out the talent that he's put out, like MJF, Chris Stat, Caster, like is all just elite level talent that that all stems from him. But I really have a sense of pride of being that different one.
Yeah.
Like, you know, to where, and I know he feels it too. So I think that's really cool. But as far as like advice that someone's given me that maybe I didn't, I don't know.
That's a rough one, man.
That's a rough one. I'd have to come back to that, but I've never been asked that before.
Hell yeah, man. Okay, so you see a very young Bear Bronson walk through the door at Creative Pro. What would you like to tell him to ensure that his path is set straight?
Oh man, I would tell him to stop listening to everybody and what they have to say. I wish I would tell young Bear Bronson, stick to like, because the thing is in wrestling, everyone has their own idea of what wrestling is, and they try to really hammer it on you. And I feel like as a young guy in wrestling, I was very like impressionable and very like, I didn't trust my own instincts. I trusted what everyone else thought. Meanwhile, that's what makes me different, right? So that's what I would say, hey, like keep your circle small of who you listen to. And because you like at Creative Pro, we're lucky to have who we have. And there's gonna be people that come in and are like, no, that's not the right way. This is the right way. And I wish I could tell that I wish I could tell that young Bear Bronson, like stick to your instincts, believe in your instincts too,
Now, how's your back doing, by the way?
Great.
Working on it, right?
Internally?
Yeah, just, I mean, you're waking up every day, you're working on it every day. How are you feeling?
Yeah,
You know, just
great.
in general.
So, cause
coping, you know?
Yeah, I mean, cause like I started off the year, New Year's Eve, I was in the hospital with my back injury. I had to pull off of that Beyond New Year's Eve show because I collapsed in my bathroom, and I have 4 herniated discs in my back that are pretty rough. And even like I had a sports doctor who was like, "Hey, I'm not one of those doctors that thinks everything's the end of the world. Like I see this shit every day with athletes, whatever." But he's like, "This is just letting you know this is bad." And I was like, "Okay." And he's like, "I'm not saying you have to retire. I'm not saying you have to, stop what you're doing, but I'm just letting you know this is bad." And I was like, "Okay, how do I proceed further?" And he told me, and it's been working. I have a long regimen of things I do throughout the week to treat my back, and some weeks are better than others, but thankfully it's been great. Internally, it's been great.
Well, I want to see, I'm going to ask this question and I want to see if it's changed since the back injury. Having a bigger body rarely allows you to wrestle many that are even your size. Do you prefer an opponent who's your size, bigger or smaller?
Ooh.
And like I said, the back kind of affects maybe, do you want to lift 350 over your head? What I mean is when you lay back for a punch. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Finish your thought.
Oh, I was just going to say, when you lay back for a punch, who do you feel most comfortable laying into? Someone smaller? Are you better with a reserved punch? Do you like to have someone your size that can absorb it? Or do you like a juicy finale where you can really lay it in and he can, let you have fun a little bit?
Oh, okay. So no matter what, it's very real to me. And like, I do think that catches people off guard just because I'm a very, what you see is what you get with me. I don't like, I'm the firm believer that like we are all nobody, like nobody's shit doesn't stink. And like, I'm but I'm just somebody who's just having fun in this world. And I do think it catches people off guard because like when I'm in there, I treat it like it's real. So I like, I like somebody like Slade definitely catches a lot of people off guard when he hits really hard.
Yeah.
I like that. And I work that way too. Most strikes I throw are very real and very like, I just really like that physicality in wrestling. I don't throw many working punches. And if I do, it's just to like get to something else. But
Right.
I would say 95% of the strikes I throw, like there's a strike exchange that me and Slade have in our match right before we fucking suplex each other and double close on each other, where we're forearming each other and you just see blood and glass flying off of our bodies. It's so cool. And it's actually, you could see it better. There's a fan cam version on YouTube, where you could see it a lot clearer, and it's really cool. But that is just how I prefer it. Whether it's bigger people, smaller people, Redacted's watching. That motherfucker. He wants
to wrestle you so bad. And I have a feeling Long Guy like that sounds like a great team name. And you could even put Slade in there. There's a wild team that's waiting to happen if we ever needed it right there.
Hell yeah. Yeah, but like somebody on the smaller side, like Redacted, like that motherfucker hits hard, and I love that. I'm like, somebody said snug shots. Yeah.
Shots.
That's just how I prefer it. Or if it's a bigger guy too.
Yeah.
But as far as like matches go, I just love challenges. I love like, the Beast Man match to me was a challenge. I only lifted him once, which was cool. And, but then there's like Slade who I can, we could suplex each other. I could powerbomb him through a door. I could, whatever,
Well, I was getting ready to get more into that Slade match, but I wanted to stop. I've taken so many questions. B, by any chance, do you have any questions, or do the fans have any questions maybe you'd like to throw at Bear?
Some of my questions I'm kind of waiting until we get to like a little later in the interview, but Necro Eric asks, any plans on possibly going to Japan? Seeing you work in Freedoms or Big Japan would be really cool. And I kind of had the similar thought after hearing you kind of talk about all that deathmatch stuff.
So right, just being honest, yes, I would love to. I'm kind of just waiting for something to land in my lap, to be honest with you. If I'm being fully transparent, I'm just waiting for something like that to roll across my, if that opportunity ever, yeah.
Nice.
Have passport, will travel.
Oh, absolutely. I know the UK scene, they have a great deathmatch scene too, like Scotland and
Big F and Joe.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, them too. I'll just blatantly say it. I was supposed to go to Scotland for ICW, but I'm not even going to come up with a lie. The real truth is I'm not going because I have MJF's wedding.
Yeah. Oh, so, hell yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good for him, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie.
Breaking news.
That's the only reason why I'm not going, and it sucks, but he's one of my closest friends, so I have to be there for him. But otherwise, I'm willing. I can't wait. I want to travel more, and that's another one of those things coming out of AEW. That's another big goal is traveling. I haven't traveled abroad much, so that's something I really love to do.
I wanted to see here. There is another question here, Brant. You can take it or I'll take it. It was from our East Coast correspondent, Frankie Abrams.
Worst pain, post deathmatch shower or being a New York sports fan?
So off the bat, I hope I don't piss anyone off with this. I hate sports. I played
not
football
your thing.
In high school. I was good at football. I was really good. I just hate it. I hate sports. I like hockey. Hockey is something I bond with my brothers because both my brothers are pretty exceptional hockey players. And I enjoy that environment because it's more fast paced. And again, I just like car crash style stuff. But overall, like baseball, football,
yeah,
I hate sports. So I can't, I don't know. It bores me like crazy. And I can't, I try all the time. I like going to I go to like New York baseball games with my wife and her dad. And that's always a great time because you can eat, drink, and whatever. But sitting down and watching on like TV, I'd rather jump off a cliff.
See, I was OT and DT. What positions were you in football?
I was tackle.
Yeah, dude, I loved it, especially on defense. Yeah. DT was it was so fun when you can catch somebody and just take their freaking a blindside hit. I don't care. It's still so satisfying. So satisfying.
Yeah, sure. Like playing, it's fun, But like that, and also like a lot of my friends in high school were all football players, and it was cool to do that with your friends and stuff like that. But I hate sports. Hate them. So to answer your question, the post deathmatch shower, which everyone warned me about, everybody, they were all like, "Hey, bro, that shower." I'm like, "Okay, they're really fucking telling me about the shower," and it was awful.
Yeah,
only the first one though. Only the first one.
Yeah. I won't even mention that because I've heard so many stories from so many different people. Some say that after the adrenaline's you almost wish you had adrenaline when you hit the shower. So not only do you have adrenaline drain, but then you're hitting that water and it's hitting all them cuts and it's yeah, that'll wake you up before bed.
Yeah. That was awful.
So we were talking about the debut match at GCW, but I really had a couple different questions here. First thing, how did it feel like walking through the curtain at GCW? I know you touched on that a little bit, but I mean, were you really getting the love from the fans? What I'm saying is, man, you got jumped right into the fryer. I mean, did you feel like you were supported?
Yes, I did. More than I thought I'd be, because I was expecting, I was fully comfortable with so this is a rule I have anyway in any area of wrestling. I always go through a curtain expecting that not a soul knows who I am. So it makes me work. Even if they do, even if I walk out to a pop, my first, I just, in my head, I'm like, assume no one knows who you are. You keep the bar low and you work for it. And luckily at Cage of Survival, I walked out and I did have a little reaction there, which is cool. Especially right in that alleyway where you first come out. That was really cool. They got me real pumped up, and
Alec got you, didn't you? He got you all pumped up.
Oh yeah,
he's good at it.
Pumped, And you know, that was definitely one of those moments where you're really, the thoughts going through my head before going out, I got a little nauseous just because I was so confident throughout the day, so confident leading up to the match. Like I know it. I know I'm gonna fucking kill this. I know I'm just gonna give my all to it and just see what happens. While Slade was making his entrance, there was a thought that went through my head where I was like, okay, you talk the talk, now you got to walk the walk. You know?
That's a
And
whole other ball game.
There was a garbage can there, and I said to myself, "Am I gonna throw up right now?" And I thought I was, but I didn't. And when I went through the curtain, all the nerves just went away. Everything went away. Entrance, everything, starting the match, everything. Actually, I think Slade had a little bit of nerves too, because if you watch the match, we start the match with a strike exchange, and he has like the miniest faint moment. Like, really? I don't know if you could catch it if you watch it back. Like, oh, there it is, right before he goes to whip me, but I'm a big guy, so he can't.
Yeah.
Right before, and there's a little moment there where we're going back, forth, back and forth, and he kind of has like this mini, because I felt it too right before he went out. That like lightheaded, like, oh fuck, this is real.
Yeah.
Where he kind of stumbles a little bit, and I start giving him body shots. That's another little fun fact.
Just to keep him centered, basically. You don't want to rock his head while he's trying to get himself under control.
Yeah, right. And we're really throwing him too. So those weren't like, you know.
Yeah, surprised you didn't lock up. You know what I mean? Just lock him up to keep, you know, you okay, man? Let's get you to a corner and get you stable.
You know what? It was one of those things where we were just ready to go. We were ready to go. And that's another thing too. Like going into that match, like I just felt like with our characters, you know, I loved Cardona and Gage, but to me, I was like, this is not one of those matches where you build it up over 6 minutes and then finally do that. I was like, we just gotta go. Like, I wanted that first 2 to 3 minutes to just be raining shit on me.
So when was it that you realized this is going well? Was it within that first 2 to 3 minutes?
Yes. So a couple of moments. So I would say the biggest gamble with wanting to start the match that way was either they were going to do what I predicted, which is like cheer for me to come back up and fight back, or they go, oh, this guy sucks, he's getting his ass kicked, boo. But luckily it wasn't the latter. That was how I planned it. I wanted it to just be, once I go through that first tower, I wanted to pick me back up and run me right through the second one. And just, I told him from there, I kept telling him, I was like telling the ref, I was like, just keep laying him on me. And I did not want to fight back at all. I wanted to just look like, in commentary, man, Emil and Veda.
They fed you good on commentary.
They put it over perfect, where they were like, did he make a mistake doing this? Like, is this like, should he have done this? So, you know what? I was like, perfect. And then the moment where, and here's the thing too with Slade, and I'm really pulling back the curtain here, but fuck it. With Slade, you cannot call matches A, B, C, D, E. Like, a lot of that match, like we knew we wanted to do the lift spot, we knew the finish, we knew whatever, but a lot of that match is like, let's just see what happens. So we did not call this in the back, we called it in the ring. But the fight back, fight each other, he suplexes me, fuck you, suplex him, fuck you, double clothesline, we called that in the ring. And when we both did the double clothesline and the fans come up, that moment where I was like, oh fuck,
we did it.
We got him. To where that's where stuff starts to hurt less too. Because when the fans are really there and like, you know, the holy shits and the, you know, this is awesome, stuff like that, that's where the adrenaline just starts pumping tenfold. And it was really cool.
So in this match with Slade, you've seemed to kind of like bring out a certain side of Slade, as we were kind of talking personality wise and kind of like even emotionally. We've never seen Slade kind of acknowledge anyone in a friendly manner or anything. So I know he's never going to say anything. So I kind of want to get your perspective and your reason of what made you guys kind of connect so good, and what have you brought to the table with Slade to kind of, I think no offense, I've loved Slade. I loved his character, but I feel
Sure.
like kind of for a little bit, it's kind of felt like stagnant. But
Sure.
I think what you did with him and kind of what you've kind of brought out with him has kind of elevated him and kind of brought a new emotion with him, and kind of like how you're
Yes.
portraying all night, like your love of wrestling and everything. Like I feel like you've kind of done that with Slade, and kind of how he's kind of now demonstrating that on screen lately in GCW. So what can you say that you have brought to that table to kind of bring that out of him?
So it makes me happy to hear that, because we're both very aware of like the criticisms of Slade and you know, that sort of thing. And again, I do feel in wrestling like that's very important. Um, a lot of wrestlers are like, "Fuck the fans. What do they fucking know? Why do you listen to them? They're not fucking important." I'm like, well, they are. Like,
Yeah.
none of what we do means anything without the fans. So it's like, why wouldn't I care about their criticisms of what they think? And it's the same thing with movies, you know, movie critics, fan critics, you know, stuff. If fans don't like a movie, it's gonna fucking flop. Like, you know, so that stuff it is important to me. And you know, it makes me happy knowing when someone, you know, because from this match and the matches that followed, like I'm receiving a lot of love that I'm very grateful for. But it takes two to dance. So when I hear that, like, you know, and he tells me and he feels like it elevated him, it makes me really happy.
Yeah.
Just because Slade's my boy, and like, no, he's very aware, like he's not perfect. He's not, you know, he is a very reserved person. He's not a social guy. Again, he does not have a lot of friends. He's not chatting it up with people in the back. He's very like, you know, in the back leading up to a show, if you go backstage to a GCW show and you see people talking, you see people, whatever, he's in his own corner with his hood up, headphones on. Like that's him.
Interesting.
And he does not, I'm just one of his very, very few friends. And to me, it just, that again, just adds a lot of trust and a lot of like, you know, because he could go into this match too. If he doesn't know me as a person, like, he could have been like, fuck, I'm not gonna let this guy fucking get over on me, you know, whatever.
Oh yeah.
Even though he won. But like, we had that trust, and we have that bond now more than ever, really. But you know, and that's the thing too. And like, you know, that's why I'm loving this interview so far. And I don't feel like I'm really pulling back the curtain, because it's very real.
Yeah.
Especially with someone like Slade, it's very real. To where even like in the match, I mean, Slade and I are boys, but there are moments in the match where I'm like, there are moments where I'm like, this guy, I think he wants to fucking kill me, you know, because there's things that weren't called. Like, he didn't know I was going to swing a chair at his back out of nowhere. And I think there really was a little outburst of anger there, leading up to the lift spot, because we had to get there. But I swung the chair at him and then hit him again in the back, and he just headsbutts me in the ribs and just fucking starts raining clubs out, like swinging at my head and back as hard as he can. And I do think there was a little like of that, like, hey, we're friends, but fuck you right now, dude. Like, you know, because again, it's very real. It's very real to both of us. So
now that you've had a few matches under your belt, how long do you feel someone should learn to wrestle before they dip into deathmatch wrestling? Understanding that's a sliding scale.
yeah, so you know what? I think everyone's different. I'm very happy I went the way I did with it, to where I had indie experience, and I had a lot of TV experience, and then I dipped into this world. But then, you know, there's guys like I feel like there's guys that learn it at the same time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think you can, if you just pay attention to both. You guys like Janela come to mind, where he is somebody who did death matches, but at the same time, he has some of the most matches any wrestler's ever had, really, in a year, like that sort of thing. Because he just, you know, if you look at his cage match and you look at the total number of matches he's had, he just did a really good job keeping both. And I think that is possible, as long as you just pay attention to that. And, you know, I think, like you said, it is a sliding scale of like, it's different for everybody. because you know what's funny is there's a lot of criticisms of deathmatch wrestling, but to me a lot of it is so parallel with normal wrestling, to where like deathmatch, you hear it all the time where they're like, deathmatch sucks, now it's just guys just doing shit for the sake of doing it, whatever, and I'm like, this just sounds like the same problems that normal, like, because there's a lot of really bad traditional wrestling too. a lot of really bad wrestling. So to me, it's they're very parallel. And whether it's traditional or whether it's deathmatch, it's only as good as you make it, you know. And to me, it's just exciting to where, like, you know, because I would never be so pretentious to say like, oh, I'm coming in and fucking making it better or anything like that. Deathmatch has major players in it that have been carrying it for years, like fucking Murdoch and Tremont. Now fucking Redacted is fucking carrying this shit, and the Reed Bentleys and the Bevs and all these guys, you know, whatever. It has its great chess pieces, but I feel like I was a really cool, like almost like a shot in the arm, you know, of just bringing a different flavor. And I don't think I'm doing anything like, I don't think I'm doing it the right way and people are doing it wrong. I just think I'm doing it differently. Because I do that with traditional wrestling too. I look at what's popular, and if I'm on a traditional card, I'll look at the card and say, how can I be different?
Exactly.
And I do that with deathmatch as well. Because, you know, a big criticism of deathmatch wrestling is, you hear this all the time. Guys are like, oh, deathmatch sucks now. It's just guys just to pick shit up and swing it. They're just hitting it, whatever. And I'm like, I like that. But like, I don't know. Like, I don't think that's a bad thing. I just look at it, and if I see a match where they're just swinging shit at each other, I will usually enjoy it. But I'm like, how can I be different? Whether it's storytelling or it's different versions of psychology, which again, it's nothing I would do differently than traditional wrestling.
So hearing you say that, like, I think that's what really for me stood out to make you stand out. In like your death match with Slade didn't feel like you said one of those hack 'em slash 'em kind of matches. You guys went all over the place, even though there was no in-ring psychology. Like the story behind everything and all the spots, I think like what you said was really smart because you did something different. I wish more people like you, and not just you, but like just death matchers, an outsider, you came in and just provided something completely different than that what we've seen. And I just wish more wrestlers would kind of have that mentality, because you like, yeah, you just provided like a different, like little thing to the recipe, and it was just awesome to see. Like it felt like, didn't feel like a death match, but it just felt like something completely chaotic, and I just really kind of enjoyed that feeling because I was not expecting anything like that going into that one.
Thank you so much. And you know what's funny is, like, you know, like you said, like, yeah, that the Slade match, it really isn't all that, like, the psychology, the in-ring psychology, you know, it's not very Bret Hart telling a story, you know. But if I was to give a critique of deathmatch wrestling where I feel like I can, you know, and I'm not the only one doing this, there's plenty of guys that are amazing at this. Tremont, Murdoch, these guys. If I was to give anybody advice so early on, that sounds terrible, but it's not, hey, your match is missing psychology. I would say I wish more death matches had more moments. Like, you know, if you think of the Slade match, what are the moments? The lift spot, the kick out at one, or the suplex double clothesline. More moments, you know. You think of Tournament of Death 2. What's a moment that pops out to you?
I'm about to say okay.
Sure, Zandig and Mondo off the roof.
Yep.
The first ever Zandig Tournament of Survival. What's a moment?
Joey and
Him
Zandy.
and Joey going off the roof. That's a moment. No one remembers that match, really. You remember some things, but you remember the moments. But that's, again, parallel with traditional wrestling. You know, I don't remember Hogan versus The Rock very well. Like, I don't really remember the match, but I do remember The Rock kicking out of the leg drop, you know, like, or the Hulk up, or even just them face to face and the heads turning.
Yep.
You remember the moments, Same thing with Tremont. Same thing with like Murdoch's got that down, and I feel like that's what makes these guys. Yeah, these guys are fucking hustlers, and they've really their body of work is so it's so deep, but it's not just the matches and the weapons they use. It's the moments. So I feel like that's where I'm very grateful. I'm not, this isn't, again, ego is fucking out there, but like, if I have excelled at this in just so few matches, it's because I'm always trying to fit in what moments can I make.
Necro said that light tube senton in the NHB moment. Perfect example.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Brant, there was a question or two here. ZMZO had a great one here because we do get this sometime. And since you're a trainer, Bear, advice for people looking to start in wrestling.
Find a reputable school. If you're looking at schools, look at the talent that they've produced. I would say make sure the head trainer that is advertised on the school is still the one training people. I am a trainer. Like, yeah. You see that all the time.
We've seen that in some areas before where there's a banner hanging for someone that was maybe there twice. It's like, he's one of our guys. It's like,
yeah, right. And like, and even then too, like, because if you look at Creative Pro, yes, I am one of the trainers. Every Tuesday I'm a trainer. But if Brian Myers is there every single Wednesday, almost every single Wednesday, unless he's with TNA on the road. But if he's not, he's at that school training people. And if there are co-trainers like myself or Max Caster, make sure, you look into their body of work as well. Because there's plenty of schools where it's 40 milers and people that haven't really done anything. And you're like, you have to ask yourself, like, who am I really learning from? What have they done? Have they made money in wrestling? Have they made a mark in wrestling? What have they, or what have they done? So that's very important. Make sure it's a reputable school.
Be ready to work.
Oh yeah. And then on the physical aspect of it, yeah, you very much, you get out what you put in. Yeah. So, Creative Pro Wrestling is 3 days a week. I tell people you gotta be there 3 days a week. If you're going once a week, again, I'm not saying it's wrong, but you get out what you get out what you put in. If you make it your life, you will gain progression. But that's also just in life in general. You look at your weaknesses, you look at your strengths, and you just,
check your attitude at the door, check your ego at the door, go in knowing you know nothing and be willing to learn. Try to come in, I think, in a little bit of shape before you get there is another good one,
Oh yeah. And even then, like, because I was never fucking Mr. Olympia. I've always been a fat kid. I've always whatever, but I did play football and stuff. And, but Creative Pro training, the amount of times I've thrown up out the back door and come back in and fucking wipe your mouth and take a sip of water, head back in, it's humbling.
It's good for the soul though. Keeps you in the right place.
Yeah. And you really realize the machines that there are in wrestling. Cause like Brian Myers, he's somebody that trained at, Pat Buck was OVW, but Brian was Deep South. And Deep South Wrestling with that other developmental, and those developmental territories in the mid 2000s, they just produced fucking machines. People like Brian, they never blow up. And it just he has that forever. He has iron lungs, man.
Fortunate. It's like those guys in football where they'd get hit and you think they got their clock cleaned and they just get right back up off the ground. Like just the naturally tough guys. There's also natural it's like runners. Just when it comes to just having that, they can just do it for longer. Lucky them too. B, before I go into the next section, were there any other questions that maybe a couple of the listeners had? Because I know there've been.
Please, this is great. This is
trying. We're trying to just do a nice, organic, relaxed, time.
Clown Ass has Brian's love of collecting rubbed off on you, and any chance we could get a Bloody Bear Major Bendy?
Ooh,
I would love that. I don't ever really know how to go about that stuff just because I am not in that world. I've been to Brian's house and have seen his figure collection, and it is gorgeous. It is like you're like afraid to touch anything when you're in there, but like it's crazy. Him and those guys are really him and Matt are like a different breed when it comes to that stuff. And I've never been a collector of anything really. I feel like me and my wife tell each other all the time, like we're always like, hey, aren't you grateful we don't like money wise, financially? We're like, aren't you like, I'm so happy you don't collect shit. Or she tells me all the time, she's like, I'm so happy you're not one of those guys that buys parts for their car that no one cares about and shit. Like imagine I came home and I'm like, honey, do you see my carbon fiber hood I got in the mail? It's a couple grand.
Right.
Like, she's like, I'm so happy you're not one of those guys. But no shade if you are. We just are very happy. Neither of us are financially. But just never been a collector. And but I love watching other people enjoy things. So if that, like, when I love like watching my friends or my family members, even if I don't genuinely feel a connection to it or I don't care, I love seeing other people get like excited about shit. So
hell yeah. Well, then we have one more here. This question from TJ over at Havoc Pro. He says, question for Bear. Did you and Slade ever come up with a name for your tag team? And if so, what is it?
I haven't. And if you ask Slade this, his answer is going to be, I don't fucking know.
As long as the match is on, I'm there.
Yeah.
The name is for the fans. It's not for the wrestlers.
Yeah. Someone on Twitter had a great one. Someone said uncaged and unhinged, even though it's kind of a mouthful.
Ooh. Yeah.
But
I like it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm all for ideas. If people want to message me or tag me or whatever, I go for it. But we haven't. The
Long Island death match is actually kind of cool if you think about it.
Long Island. Long Island.
Yeah, and if you look at it, only so many can claim it.
Sure, that's true.
I don't know.
That's very true.
So I just wanted to let everyone know, and I think it's important that you let everyone know that you're not here just for death matches. First, I mean, you came in here and you have done a death match or 2 or 3 or 4, but you're not here for that. You have bigger things in mind. You want to truly compete at the highest level that GCW has to offer. Yes. Are there any GCW wrestlers on your radar? Or do you want to keep that private?
No, I'm very open. So I very much appreciate that question. So I'm going to split this into 2 answers. The first thing I want to say is, I feel like my heart has changed to where, like, I would say at first, and if you look back, I made a couple of tweets and I'd said things like, oh, I'm not just doing deathmatch. I'm very much everything. But I also, like, I don't know, my heart has changed too, where I do want to be both. And if somebody does call me a deathmatch guy, I think at first I was afraid of it just because I was afraid of getting like pigeonholed or afraid of being cornered into that. But yeah, my feelings have changed greatly on it to where, like, if someone calls me that, I think I feel proud of it. And luckily the way, like, if I look at my schedule throughout, you know, the whole rest of the year, um, I'm very lucky. It is full of traditional bookings and some real like some matches I'm so excited about, with a lot of deathmatch sprinkled in there, and to me it makes me really excited. um Actually, I feel like, if I'm being truthful, if I looked at the rest of the year and saw it was only traditional and not a lot of death matches, or if there were none, I think I'd be greatly disappointed. um
All right.
and luckily that's not the case. I do have a lot of really good stuff lined up, but I just want to, you know, be clear about that too. It's something I was afraid of at first, but as I keep going and you know, I'm like, man, I'm really, I can't hide it. I really love this a lot. Um, as much as it scares the shit out of my friends.
And Gabby.
Yeah, and Gabby, but she's even now, like, my friends are still very much,
Yeah.
yeah,
I get it.
still very just, you know, my close friends in wrestling. But Gabby and my family are like my parents are like, dude, this is sick. Like,
Yeah.
this is so cool. So, and my family is, I'm very much a family guy. Like, my family is the closest thing to me. My parents are like my best friends. My brothers are my best friends. My wife is my best friend. Like, if they feel great about it, I'm like, I don't care about anything else. So, but I do appreciate you saying that too. And yes, I am still very much a traditional wrestler too, and I feel like I have a lot to offer. And a lot of people ask me, they're like, "Where do you want to sign to?" Whatever, and I'm not thinking about that at all. But if something does land in my lap and that's the next chapter in my life, I'm all for it. Um, but as far as talent in GCW, like, who, you know, you gotta, to me, you always got to shoot the highest. Uh,
Yes.
World champ, man. Like, you know, Effie, uh, the Charles Masons. I've been a fan, and I don't care saying this. I've been a fan of Atticus and the Kogar brothers for a long time, a really long time.
Yeah.
I think they're my favorite thing in the whole company, I would say. Um,
Good
just
aura. Great aura
Yeah,
to
and
him.
just I think Atticus is. I think I could definitely go on record and say he's the most creative person I've ever met.
Bingo. Yes.
Not
Yeah.
even in wrestling, like, I've ever met. Um, and yeah, I mean, just like, you know, guys like Joey Janela, um, deathmatch guys, as far as like, you know, or I guess I'll go non-deathmatch first, but like,
Yeah.
me and KJ Orso are on very parallel
Hmm.
trajectories right now, as far as like not being appreciated in our place of employment, and feeling like we both had way more to offer, and we both came separately to GCW and are proving that. So I feel like our careers are very parallel, and I'm sure that will cross at some point. um and as you know, as shitty as the world is seeing he is as a, you know, as a character, I'm very proud of him, and he's somebody I greatly relate to. So that is somebody, yeah. Orso is definitely. um and then as far as more non deathmatch guys, uh I mean, when eventually, I don't know anything, and I'm a very honest guy. I don't know anything. Whenever Alley Catch is healed from her injury,
Yeah.
she's somebody I'm very close with, and I don't know. I really don't know anything. Um, but, you know, it's funny too, because there's a lot of talent I'd love to see come into GCW, and that's a
Hmm.
separate topic. And um, but again, and then if I go to the deathmatch side, you know, my ultimate dream is coming true in August. That's Tremont. But to me, peak top of the game right now is Murdoch, and that is, to me, he's like top dog. If he is somebody, him and Tremont are like, these are guys I could really learn from. And I feel like, man, I'd love to just sit down with Murdoch and put our heads together and just be like, what can we do? You know? And then, Redacted, of course, Redacted too, just because like he was a fresh taste in the deathmatch world as far as like a character and like a look and an aura and like just something real fresh and different. And he's somebody that goes hard, and I appreciate that a lot. And it makes me want to go hard. So I know when we get a singles, that'll be crazy. Fucking it didn't happen. I was so upset it didn't happen because sometimes the world sucks and flight issues are terrible. But Mance Warner.
Oh man, that's gotta happen. Yeah, I think you two would be fantastic together.
I was so excited.
That has an LA vibe written all over it.
Just Brett, that's LA.
Sure.
Yeah, we'd love to see that. Now, actually, we'll be seeing you in LA, by the way. So it'll be good to meet you over there. Yeah, man.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, I'll be doing some interviews and stuff over there just for like a homecoming thing. So I'll be there probably when everybody else checks in and try to have some fun.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, no, I'm very much looking forward to that. And
LA is another monster.
LA, yeah.
Dude, LA is another monster. I cannot wait until you see the vibe in LA. Very different, just a different flavor. I really look forward to it. Could we possibly see the Savage Gnomes in GCW at any time? Would be nice.
I would love that. Anytime I talk about it with Gabby, she's very much like, I really want you doing your own thing there.
That's fair.
Loves coming to the shows. She said they're bar none her favorite indie shows ever. She was in Hartford, and she was like, even just like the Hartford show was so great because it was not only like, the death matches were cool that we had, but fucking like that 6-man tag, fucking that was like, she texted me. I put the screenshot on Twitter. She texted me. She said that was the greatest match I've ever seen in my life. Like,
wow.
And her, she does not, which I don't know if that says much because she, before she started wrestling, she was brand new to it and hasn't watched much, but still, it's still really cool to her. Like she was like, that was like one of the greatest things I've ever seen. The opening scramble with like people who I think should be in GCW more, like AG and TJ Crawford is a close friend of mine. He is somebody that people just need to pay attention to. Like, I don't know how he's not in Japan yet doing the Super Juniors and shit. Like, unbelievable talent. But fuck, what was I saying? What was the original?
I was just asking about who the people were that you were targeting, and then you were talking.
And then you said with Gab, so she loves the shows, and she, if there's ever an opportunity one day, cool. But she's very much not pushing it. Like she's like that. She's like, it's so cool that wrestling has become something we both do together, and that's really awesome. But she values this GCW run that I'm having so greatly that she's like, I don't want to touch it. Like,
that's
if
awesome.
If it's right and there's a story and she gets pulled into it somehow, and great, or even if fucking she got hit up and it's like she's had amazing matches with Masha Slamovich. Like, if that, cool. But as far as death matches go, no. She's not. She's like, I love watching you do it. But even like she's like too much for me. And I'm like, I don't think I would like watching my wife do that either.
No, it's nerve-wracking. It really is.
I couldn't imagine.
I just hate seeing sometimes even the tube swung, because if you're off, you can catch the ear or any of this, and it's like,
and again, and I do feel like that would be doing deathmatch for the wrong reasons too.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, I'm doing this because I've been a very deep fan for a long time, and I do feel like doing it for like clout or doing it for I'll do it because the fans will like it. It's like, no,
Right.
you have to do it. You have to do it because you'll like it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not, that is way too much of a price to pay. So, but like
Now,
in a traditional sense, who knows? I would love to see her there. I think she'd
right.
kill it. I think like her strength is like, she's one of the strongest people I've ever met in my life. So I am dying for the day that like a GCW crowd sees her just stack a bunch of dudes on her shoulders and just throw them. But we'll see what happens. Maybe one day.
Somebody put up here, Gabby versus Allie would be fantastic. And
Oh yeah.
I could agree there. That would be a great matchup.
It's happened at other promotions, but I feel like GCW is a place where, because they've had great
Yeah.
matches together. But again, GCW is one of those places that just brings something different out of everybody,
So now your job is a numbers game. You need to kind of get in front of many people as possible. Merch. You do well putting yourself out there on social media. Do you find it difficult to ride the line between social media and privacy, or has that been kind of an easy, well thought out kind of thing for you?
So the only way to answer this is honestly. And I personally don't care. I am like an open book. There's plenty of talents that will do interviews like this, so they'll talk to people and they have their face they put on for fans in interviews, and then they have
Yes.
their real face. And to me, I don't have that. I just, what you see is what you get. And that's how I am at merch tables. If you catch me in a parking lot, if you catch me anywhere, I don't have that. So I have talent reach out to me all the time, whether they're from TV or they're friends, and they'll be like, if it's a tweet I make about how much I love my wife or something, they're like, hey, they pull back a little, and I'm
Right.
like, I don't see it that way, but okay. Like, I have very different feelings towards this stuff. Cause I don't know. I don't really,
I think you're
care. I
I
don't
think you're
care
doing
enough.
it right. But I think you're doing it
Thank
right
you.
because you're sharing
you.
that's what social media is kind of supposed to be, is sharing the good parts of your relationship, your life, a vacation, but also you have it mixed in there with your business. But you know what? People kind of fall in love with the individual, and they like to sometimes see that their individual isn't bulletproof. They're a human being with real feelings, and
Yeah.
you put that out there. So I always wondered, it's a fine line, and before you start putting yourself out there, I felt like you always have to kind of put a little thought into it first to make sure that you do have a line. But yeah, you just do it so damn well. I had to ask you,
Thank you. Oh, I
yeah.
love hearing that. It makes me feel validated. So thank you. Yeah, and the honest truth is, like, I just don't care enough. Like, I don't care enough to hide things or be like,
Right.
I understand the kayfabe stuff, and when I do interviews like this, I love to talk about like the backstories of stuff, and
Yeah.
and the wrestling world is heading that way anyway. If you haven't noticed, with the Unreal and
Yeah.
what do we, I'm like, who are we kidding? Like, but I just, yeah, like, I've never cared enough to be like when oh my God, when people like tweet at each other in gimmick and they're like, I'm like, oh my, it's so corny. Like, I can't, I don't know. It's so corny. If it's a promo video where you're putting out a promo talking shit, great. But when people reply to each other's tweets or Facebook posts and shit in
Gets a little
gimmick,
weird.
I'm like, oh, hooey. I feel like we're cosplaying or something. Like, I don't know. So
Sometimes
corny.
it is cosplaying.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Right.
So who's someone in the industry you can say they didn't get everything they should have gotten and they worked their ass off?
Oh man.
I know there's going to be a couple.
You know what? There's gonna be, when we're done with this interview and I'm driving home, I'm gonna be like, fuck. I think the most underrated, and he's a TV talent, but the most underrated talent I know has to be Alex Reynolds.
Yeah.
And that's, again, like people just don't know. They have no idea. Like,
Agile too.
in another world, that dude is a top guy. Like, I don't think he really has had the true chance to really. And again, like I'm not like boo-hooing it because he's on TV, he's making, he's doing his thing, which is great, but people just have no idea, man. And then like somebody who, what was the question again? Somebody who should have been.
Who's someone you've just seen them earn it, work their asses off, but just didn't get what you feel they should have gotten out of it?
Okay. Ultimate answer is talent named, I don't know if you know VSK.
VSK. I've heard the name, but
Long Island talent. He's known a lot in Beyond Wrestling and a lot of New York local stuff. He was briefly in TNA as Under the Learning Tree, never as a signed talent, but not Jericho's Learning Tree, Brian Myers' Learning Tree. But he is one of the most unbelievable talents. And normally I don't like these questions to when they're asked to other people because it's very biased towards your friends. But again, I feel like him and Alex Reynolds are people that it's just like, they should be stars. They should be stars. And they actually are responsible for like me, MJF. I shouldn't say me because who am I? But like MJF, Chris Stat, Caster, like those two they play such a huge part, and so much so that if they didn't exist, I don't know if those talents would be who they are today.
So you were kind of saying earlier, kind of based off of this, like who should be like bigger, like Alex Reynolds and stuff, and you brought up one KJ Orso, and I see, like as you said, very similar career like trajectories and parallels with you guys because of not being fully utilized where you were previously. I just wanted to ask, because you're kind of fresh right out of there, and as someone who has been an AEW fan and a Ring of Honor fan and kind of very disappointed in this new Ring of Honor and how they're kind of making it and running it, what would be your thoughts on that? Like, where do you think the new Ring of Honor is kind of missing? Because I feel like it should be talents like an Alec Price, Jordan Olivers, and like the younger people that we have in GCW are some better fits than kind of some of the names that they're retreading again out there in Ring of Honor. And I feel like that's kind of like some of the in-ring stuff that's kind of setting it apart in my eyes. But you being fresh out of there, I want to know kind of like where your opinion goes with that, and kind of like why your creativity in KJ's kind of were fully utilized there.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe, is Ring of Honor, do they put them on YouTube now?
No, it's still on Honor Club. And I know that's strike one right there.
Like that,
hey, it's like GCW and Triller. You know, if a tree falls, if somebody isn't watching, who hears it?
So for me, like with Ring of Honor, to me, the worst thing about it is we all loved all the undercard talent, like loved Dark when that was a thing. Dark and Dark Elevation, when that was on YouTube, we loved it because it got so many, it was, the viewership was great. And then Ring of Honor on the streaming service is like this black hole that no one, and it's just the truth. I'm sorry. That could like make a headline. I don't care. But like, it's just the truth. Like you're doing things on it and you're having these matches that I'm sorry, no one's watching them. And it was such a step, like just the complete opposite of Dark and Dark Elevation, which like, if you weren't on TV and you were just doing Dark, you were actually like, oh, I'm happy with that. It's cool. Everyone's still watching my shit. And like, I still feel like I'm presented in a way, you know. But I would say, like, you know, Ring of Honor when I was there and still now, like, had so much talent. Like, would immediately, I think the most underrated guys in AEW right now, or among the most underrated are the Infantry. And it's just like, they're, you know, if you do watch Ring of Honor and the pay-per-views, those guys are doing great shit if you're watching it, you know. Like,
Yeah.
that's the thing. So it makes me feel for those guys still that are still there. And I felt the immediate difference coming out of AEW and back to the indies, where I'm like, oh, I feel like, and again, like I'm not shitting on anything. That's just being honest. Like when Ring of Honor started and we were doing matches there, I would go to indies with Gabby just to support her. And people would be like, oh, are you still with AEW? Are you still, whatever? I'm like, oh yeah, I do Ring of Honor. And everyone goes, oh,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
it. And you're like, yeah.
Yeah. What else can you do?
Well, yeah. And you feel like you're not even like in the world of wrestling. You feel like you're
Correct.
just,
Correct. I've heard
weird.
that.
Yeah.
I've heard that. It's like basically being paid well to wrestle in a basement and no one sees it.
Yeah.
You're getting your paycheck, but you're not growing. You're not, there's no, you want the money, but you want the exposure.
Yeah. And then I felt that immediate, the second my contract expired, or even a little before that, because I just started picking up indies rapidly when I had gotten cleared to compete again. You just feel the immediate difference. You're like, oh, people are there. I'm like, you have to remind people who you are. Like, oh, I'm still here. I'm still, I'm not like, oh, gone, So, yeah. And that's just the truth. And people could be upset about it, but sorry. Like, it just is what it is. And, it's, I can I could sit here and I could critique, and I do feel for the guys that are there. Somebody I love, by the way, is old stablemate Jack Jameson, and I feel like he is such a better fit for what he's doing right now. But again, if you're watching it, he's in like the frat house where it's like him and Cole Carter and those guys, and they're all just fucking having so much fun. And I feel like they're all such a good fit for what they're doing. And I hope, again, I hope that makes its way to TV so people can actually see how entertaining it is. But that's neither here nor there. And if it happens, cool. I'd be thrilled for those guys. But if it's only a Ring of Honor thing,
yeah.
And a big problem there too that I'm sorry, I'll just say it frustrated everybody, and not even just me, but it frustrated everybody when you were on the Ring of Honor episodes every single week that no one's watching, and then we go, oh, Final Battle is coming up, or Death Before Dishonor is coming up, and you look at the card, and it's like, oh, it's none of us. It's maybe a few, but it's all people that are never on Ring of Honor.
It doesn't reward the fans that actually do pay the service and are watching the storylines that are weekly, and then we get there and it's like, yeah, no payoff for it.
We're like, oh, fuck us. Okay. But again, what are you going to do? We'll,
I have a soft spot with the Ring of Honor, a lot of the talent, in the relaunch and kind of because of my old love for Ring of Honor. But as I said, I think it is missing a lot, and it's just very frustrating to see talent like yourself, Fuego / KJ. I'm very one name finally happened to see break through that ceiling is Blake Christian, and I'm finally to see talent like that finally break through that ceiling. But I just feel like there's so much more still out here that's not being properly represented and utilized as yourself and KJ.
Yeah, and everything I'm saying too, it just comes from a place of passion. I'm very grateful for. I picked up a lot of things from AEW. A lot of good. I had a lot of bad times there that I won't talk about here because it doesn't have to do with what we're talking about. But I have a lot of bad experiences there, but I've good too. And I've picked up a lot of things. I learned so much. I got to work with people like Jerry Lynn, Dustin Rhodes, and a lot of people that have left such a mark on the way I view things and how I, guys that taught me so much just from working with them. And I'll never be able to I'll be grateful for that forever. Jerry Lynn alone, that guy is just just an angel of a person. But I'm very lucky with the people I got to work with there. And so it's not me shitting on it. It's just as a person who was there, and standing shoulder to shoulder with guys who were on Ring of Honor and still are, I can't help but feel for them. We're all just passionate about it. We all want it to be better. I never want AEW to go away. I hope AEW can like, I hope it succeeds, and I hope Ring of Honor succeeds, because that's more places for people to work and make money. And like, I only want it to be better. You know, I really do. And I have a lot of friends there still. All my best friends are still there. And, you know, let's go, Max. You're the best wrestler alive. You know, it's all love. It's all love, and it just comes from a place of passion, you know.
Well, I got something nice for you here. A couple of the fans put together some team names for you and Slade. We have Claw and Order.
Shit. What is
Claw and Order. Claw and Order was good. Iron Fang, the Death Grip, and my favorite has been the Bad News Bears. I thought those are fun little names.
I love it. It's all better than what I would come up with. So I love it.
So then who's the one person you'd love to sit down and talk to in pro wrestling, living or dead? And what would that conversation be about?
Oh my God. I don't think that'd just be one person. I think my GOAT, like my all-time, my number one above everything is Stone Cold Steve Austin.
There you go.
So, like if he was still, you know, like, I don't know, like when he was doing his podcast, if he's I don't think he still is, but when the Stone Cold podcast,
it was good.
If it was great. And if it was still a thing now and I could be a guest on it, that would be a dream come true. That is somebody living or dead. Like, that's my number one. But again, like, yeah, that's another one of those questions when we're done with this interview. I'm going to, you know,
you're like, shit, I should have picked Macho Man Randy Savage. What was I thinking?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. What would that conversation be about, though? If it's you and Stone Cold, is it just about the business? Would you like to pick his brain about how he became the most popular ever injured? You know what I mean? Like, really?
Yeah, like, I think I would not. I wouldn't be able to help myself. I would mark out like crazy. But even just like, I think it would look a lot like if you see the episode of Hot Ones that he did.
Yeah.
Where it is kind of like Marky questions, but he just has such fun stories, and just they're so like the way he laughs about things from the past. And I would just love to hear his stories, or just the way he views, you know, because I feel like his matches are just so different from what people kind of glorify. Because to me, like, and this is a hot take, I feel, but when people, you always hear the argument, who's better, Sean or Brett? To me, it's Austin, because he does have that body of work throughout WCW and that early WFM where he can go in the ring. Like, he could fucking go. And his, like, my favorite Bret Hart matches are with Austin. And like, I just feel like people, I think his main criticism in his peak was like, oh, it's very punching and kicking and very like not wrestling, just whatever. But to me, like, I don't know, to me he's the most well-rounded. Like, he has it all. But he also, someone said the ECW stuff too, like those promos and those, you know, those, like, he is just peak to me. So I'd love to just hear the way he views matches and the way he views psychology and stuff like that. Just because you hear the same stuff all the time and it gets boring. I'm not gonna go deep into it because I will piss people off. I think a lot of wrestling is boring.
Mainstream is slow right now. The pace of everything, especially at the WWE level, is very slow. I watched for the first time in a while not that long ago, and I turned to my wife in hour 2 and I'm like, I remember why I didn't like this. It's because I'd be an hour 2 or 3 going, what the hell did we see so far? We're still waiting to see, you know, we saw 11 minutes of action in an hour and a half. Us old guys like me turn into purists. Like, we want to see the action. Sure. We want to, you know what I mean? I'm just kind of wondering, is there anything about you or your character that you wish people knew better?
You know, what's funny is, like, before June, I would say it's the deathmatch stuff. I would say like that is something that would surprise people at a point in time.
Yeah.
Like that is something where people go, oh, you like that stuff? You want to do that stuff? And I'll be like, yeah. But now after that, something that people, I mean, not really, just because I think this is the most open I've ever been. My wife is like the biggest part of that, I think, because she's really brought so much out of me, even with being a bisexual and like something that like, not that I like hid that, but I just didn't think any. I was like, who cares, you know?
Yeah.
But then she was like, you know, she was the one that's like, you should be proud of that. Like you should be, you know, and the same thing with just everything, every aspect of wrestling. Even if she doesn't care for it, like she did not care for deathmatch, she, you know, whatever. She's like, no, but that's something that you genuinely enjoy. She's like, I'm falling asleep every night listening to glass crashing on your TV. Like, that's something that, like, you know, like she's just a huge part of that.
And selfless enough to allow you to do what you need to do and keep herself out of it. You know what I mean? Like some people may go, well, me first. I want to go to GCW. I want to da 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 da.
Sure.
And she's stepping away to make sure you can breathe and make the most of the opportunity. I think that's really fantastic.
Yeah, she's really yeah, she's unlike anybody I've ever met in my life, and that's something I could keep going. I could go on forever about that. Because she just really is too, like, yeah, I mean, no, like you said it really best, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like she really is. She's like a perfect human being.
You're fortunate, buddy. You're fortunate. I'm 21 years in married. I'll tell you, if you can get to someone that you can lock in on it, it makes things easier. So yeah, consider that I always say they're angels. Anybody that can deal with the devils that we have as men are angels. You know what I mean?
Really,
our pissy
really,
attitudes, you know, and so if they can handle all that, you know, we're good. My last serious question was, what do you think the young you would think is the coolest thing about the old you right now?
It's so funny you asked that because so I've been wrestling now for 11 years. And it's only now that how do I say this? Myself as a teenager finally would look at me and say, that's my favorite wrestler. And it took me this long, but I was a hardcore fan too, and I was a very honest fan and a brutal fan, and I think that's why I was talking about before that pressure is so important from people that put it on you, because I was very much that. I was somebody who, I don't care if it was a baby face, like I was never the type that's like, oh, you have to cheer for the baby faces. Like if I thought they were lame, I'd boo the fuck out of them. Like I was very honest too as a fan, and I know that fan would be honest about me. And it's 11 years now. And in this year is where I'd finally say that is my favorite wrestler.
I mean, all of this sounds very healing and cathartic. The fact that you're able to comfortably share yourself with the world. You know, this whole thing, I think is, I think there's a lot of people that wish they could do that as positively as you have. I'll give you that much too.
I really hope more people do. There's a lot of talent out there that hides a lot of themselves because they feel pressured to. But the thing is, like, I'm very much a fan at heart. I feel like I'm genuinely friends with the fans just because I am too. And I just don't really, I don't have much. I will put boundaries if we all have to sometimes. But like, I really do break those walls down just because that's how I was. Like, Brian Myers, the way he trained me, he was like, Brian's a fan. Brian's like, we're all marks. I'm a mark. You're a mark. Like, that's just who we are. We're not better than these people. We're not like whatever. That's just how I was taught. And I'm glad that I was taught that way because I see the opposite all the time. And there's so many car rides I have with people and other talent where I'll think to myself, like, man, I wish people got to see this side of you. Like, because I feel like you'd flourish if people, but they just feel like they can't. And plus, there's plenty of people too. I'll even say I'm not gonna. It's disrespectful to say their names, but like, there's plenty of people like I took that step into deathmatch because I love it, and I just was like, fuck what everyone else thinks. There's plenty of guys that like they won't because they feel like they'll be like in trouble or something. I don't know, like, or they feel like they're like, oh, well, I don't want people to look. I don't want people to be disappointed in me or something like. Not even in just deathmatch, but other areas of wrestling and other like a lot of talent. There's a lot of pressure, because if you truly care about not even fans are very accepting of things, but like other talent, other veterans, other people in wrestling, like they feel a lot of pressure of like, I don't want these people to feel, I don't want them to look down on me or look whatever.
Yeah.
And like, I do think, and not in a bad way, but you have to remember, if you quit today, are any of these people going to call you? You know, like, are they going to check in on you? Or are they going to, no. So why do you put so much stock into what they think? Like, the real thing that matters is if you're doing what makes you happy. And I'm very big on like, would teenage you, would childhood you be a fan of who you are today as a wrestler? Be honest, you know? And I just think that's all very important stuff. And that is, it's something I've greatly taken note of.
Were there any other serious or wrestling related questions that you had, Bran? I think I saw Necro Eric had one here. He said, are you seeking revenge on Channing Thomas for the injury to your wife? I'd like to see you smoke Sydney Bacabella.
You know what's funny is like, so for anyone who's unfamiliar, and this is the PR class person to me, or not PR, not, I'm sorry, like the, yeah, PR class. For anyone who's unfamiliar, Channing Thomas knocked my wife's tooth out at Limitless Wrestling. And it's funny is because like instinctually, yes, the husband wants to kill this man. But also, on the other side of things, I don't feel like Gabby is very much somebody where I don't need to fight her battles. And I've been caught in that position before where I have felt myself instinctually pounce, you know?
Yeah.
But she's tough, man. She's tough. And you know, if you look at that match between them is something to seriously be proud of. And if I'm ever in the ring with him one day, yeah, I'll kick his ass, and Sydney's too, but I don't feel like I have to.
Right.
Just because she held her own, man. That championship match at Limitless was like one to really, really, if you're not a Limitless Wrestling fan, check it out. They're another company too besides GCW that's backed me from the start of this year, and I've been so grateful for them. But yeah, so Gabby, she's tough, man.
Well, relax, Bear. You know, it's easy going from here onward, just so you know.
I'm just letting you know, I'm loving this.
You're
This
doing
is my
good?
favorite.
Okay.
It's my favorite interview I've ever had. Bar none.
Seriously, thank you. I appreciate that. We appreciate that 100%. There's a lot of work we do, so yeah. Okay, fun time. Do you have any pets?
Yeah, me and my wife have 2 dogs. But they're her childhood dogs. And they're up there. But they're great, and we had 2 cats that passed away.
Sorry.
That was tough. But
yeah,
that was very, I love animals. I also, my family, my parents at their house, they have a chow, and it's beautiful. His name's Moose, and
yeah.
was,
That's a cool name.
yeah, it's great. I'm sure because we just got married, we're getting close to in October we'll be married for a year, and
Congratulations.
one sweet. Thank you so much. Wild, so crazy to even say that, but yeah, it's crazy. But we'll, we're close to 1 year in marriage, and I think once we really get our feet under us and okay, what's the direction we're going in, stuff like that, is where we'll probably include more animals in the mix and grow our family and stuff like that.
Are you one of those ones that would have something like chickens or anything like that? Or are you strictly dogs, cats kind of guy?
Strictly dogs, cats.
Yeah. All right.
I love them both, but never, unless my wife wants something like I don't know. I could never say no to her.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, I mean, unless it was I don't know. Something that's not totally weird.
Like a pet pig, or something weird like that.
Like, that's cute.
Yeah. For at least the first couple months, they're cute.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so you wake up in the morning, Bear. What are some simple things that make your day better?
Food.
Hell yeah. We were going to talk about that.
I'm starving. Anytime I wake up, I'm starving.
Favorite fast food on the road?
Wendy's.
Your go-to comfort food. This can be
Sushi.
on the road, at home. Oh, dude. If we see you in April, I have an all-you-can-eat sushi place that's the spot to go to. Just crush.
Excellent.
Fuck yeah. I think it's like 20, 30. It doesn't matter the price. It's not a lot. And then bodybuilders are constantly coming in there and just crushing protein constantly.
Yep. So for me, my wife got me into sushi, and before that I was very much to me, I'm like cheeseburger, steaks. Those are my top, sushi jumped to number one. Sushi, if I could have it every day, it'd be every day.
Good. I'm with you, man. That's some good. I started by just eating fried shrimp because they tried to get me that shit, and I'm looking at it no. And they go, well, let's just try some fried shrimp. And
me too.
I grew up on a farm, so it was they were giving me fried I forget what vegetables. And I'm like, okay, I'll start there. And then it worked on me after a while.
It's scary at first because you're like, what the fuck am I looking at?
Raw fucking fish.
Yeah, right. But you start out with the little California rolls and the spicy crab and whatever.
Always.
Then you start,
you ease in.
And then you get your favorites and
favorite family recipe. This could be coming from, your immediate family or maybe even who you've married into.
My mom. My mom's my mom is full Italian. Her parents are from Italy. And her meat sauce. Her sauce with beef cubes and meatballs, and she just makes a big pot she starts it super early in the morning and it cooks throughout the day, and then it's just it's insane.
Yeah, I've learned to never argue with an Italian over meat sauce ever.
Yeah.
Something you will never do.
Yeah.
And no one will make it better.
My wife's family, my wife's mom and her grandmother are from Italy. And
nice.
Yeah. So
you're getting it from both sides.
I'm getting it from both sides. Yeah. So because my mom's parents are from Italy and they passed away when I was a baby. So I really didn't get to meet them or anything. But my mother-in-law has actually dual citizenship, and her mother still lives in Italy and just came over for the week last week and lives in Rome. Her whole life, doesn't want to live here. And
did she bring anything from the church with her? A lot of Roman, a lot of the Roman people always love to bring over stuff from the church with them.
She did around Christmas time.
Yep.
Around Christmas time.
It's I have some friends that are Italian also. And when somebody visits from the old country, they're always coming with something religious to give, because it's coming from the source over there in Italy, so to speak, from Rome.
Right. So. Yeah. And mainly just when she comes over, she cooks a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. And it's great. It's excellent. It's excellent because my dad's side of the family, my dad, his whole family's from Ireland. My dad's full Irish.
Oh,
and
man.
they're
I don't even want to know what that fight is like. I don't even want to know what a fight is like.
Crazy. But that side of families. I have a million cousins that live there, and it's crazy.
That's awesome. Okay, we're gonna go into Baby Bear's world. Back when you were just a cub, what video game did you dominate back in the day?
Oh man, so I would say there's different eras. So I would say like my niche one is my two that I always come back to every now and then. Jack and Daxter and Sly Cooper are the two that I that like my childhood games that like I carried with me. But then later on, you know, when I first got like an Xbox 360, it was Gears of War. I'm a big Gears of War guy, big Gears of War guy. And you know, everyone's kind of like everyone's Call of Duty, you know.
Yeah.
So I've always been in the mix with that and like whatever. But for me, growing up, like I would say, like my heart has always been into Gears of War and Resident Evil. And I'm
Good call.
big Resident Evil guy. And then yeah, kind of later, I kind of like different eras with things. So like even later on, like I you know, it sucks because I'm a huge gamer, but like my Xbox at home has like dust on it, and it makes me sad. But you know, it's all good. It's all for good reasons. But me and my brothers, my younger brother specifically, he's 25, and we all are exceptional Rocket League players.
Nice.
So much so that my younger brother almost made it onto like a league team to like make money doing it and stuff like that. It didn't work out that way, but was this close. Like my brother was like a grand champion level, like Rocket League player. And I would say that's our shit, like for the past few years. But other than that, and then like Pandemic Warzone was like peak. And it hasn't touched that since. I'm sure there's some I'm missing, but trying to think. I hit Gears of War, right? Gears of War. Yeah. Those are pretty much the main ones.
I haven't been into the new Call of Duty that's getting ready to come out. I'm actually looking into Battlefield 6 for the first time in a while. I'm like, okay.
That beta is fun.
Yeah, okay, so you were on the beta too, dude. I think there's another beta in like another couple days.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, dude, check it out. It's on all consoles and shit. So it's all from PlayStation to PC. It's out there, free, and it's pretty fucking fun. Like it's a little more realistic. It's fun to like drive a tank and not get it stuck on a lawn chair. You know what I mean? Because Call of Duty, you know,
Call of Duty's just
I love Call of Duty. That's my jam. But I mean, I realize there's some problems in this next one. Don't look too hot. I'm not into the futuristic style Call of Duties.
Neither am I.
And I don't like getting shot by Nicki fucking Minaj. Let me tell you, when I get killed by Nicki,
what are we doing? Yo, you
I get killed.
Shit on. You turn this shit on. I'm like, yo, I'm looking at like Eminem. Like what?
Yeah, Beavis and Butthead.
Peter Griffin's killing me. I'm like,
yeah.
I thought this was Call of Duty. What the fuck are we doing?
Like, but like you get killed by Nicki Minaj and then you hear ow. I'm like, what the fuck was that?
So weird, bro. It's not even like what are we? It's not even the same. Like I'm like, it's just so weird. I don't know.
Well,
so weird.
I want to give you credit on your Acid Bath shirt. That's fucking awesome.
Oh, thanks. Me and my wife just saw them like 3 weeks ago.
No kidding.
Yeah,
crazy story with that band. If people don't know what happened to Acid Bath, they kind of have a sad story. And God, it's actually, I'm really surprised to hear them back. They only did those 2 albums, right?
Yep.
I think it was like only 2 albums. And then the bass player, I believe, got into a car wreck and passed away. And it's like Slipknot. It really took a lot out of the band when, you know, they lose their bass player and that was their key music maker. But yeah, man, good band. What music were you listening to growing up? What was the cub dancing to in his bedroom when no one was looking?
You know, it's so funny. There's another conversation I just had with somebody. I feel like a lot of the music I listened to derived from wrestling or like either the pay-per-view theme songs or SmackDown versus Raw soundtracks. So
wow,
like,
yeah.
If it wasn't for SmackDown versus Raw, I wouldn't know about like Non-Point or like
Oh yeah.
Bullets and Octane, or like, that was my first introduction to Breaking Benjamin, stuff like that. Like, and then like even the pay-per-view theme songs, Saliva was like sick when I was growing up, or like,
Yep.
Limp Bizkit and stuff like that, or my I would say my consistent favorite band ever is Seether. And like that again was just from like Remedy being a pay-per-view theme. And I kind of, again, that's another thing I have like different eras with and stuff like that. But my wife was always a really big metalhead, and she got me more into the scene and more into like the hardcore scene. And she was a hardcore girl growing up, and then like more into like the she was more of like the Ozzy side, and more of like, again, like I'll be honest, she got me into Asabath. I didn't even really.
That's cool. That's cool as shit, honestly.
She's crazy. She's like we bonded when we met. We both love Typo Negative. And
dude,
that was
all
when
right.
we met. We were like, oh shit, like you like them, but yeah, even like when I was in high school, I would say like I bounced back and forth between things. Like I loved like Linkin Park, Blink 182. Like I bounced back and forth a lot. I love pop music too. I fucking love Cardi B. Love Cardi B.
I don't like getting shot by her, but
yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't like getting shot by her, but cool music. It's okay.
Right. I feel like, I have a pretty wide palette with this stuff. Like, there's not much I hate country. Just because not that I hate it, I just don't relate to it at all.
Right. You a city boy?
I'm a
city boy
guy.
Are you? Okay. Long Island is not very country.
You saying that just reminded me. I showed my wife. She's never heard of Primus or Primus. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Wow, Primus. Yeah.
My name is Mud. I showed her that song and she loves it. I was like, how did you not ever hear this song? She's like, I've never heard this song.
My son's a bass player. He loves Primus.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Like, oh fuck yeah. Of course.
Some of the craziest bass playing you can ask for out there. Yeah. Favorite cereal?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
That's what fed the cub. Favorite cartoons?
I'm a fuck. So I'm a huge SpongeBob guy.
Hell yeah.
I can quote SpongeBob alarmingly well. I did Bubble Bass's order on Gabby and I's first date.
Fuck yeah. Did I just hear laughter from somewhere? Yeah, okay. Okay. Somebody was listening and laughing.
Yeah. Yeah. So I cannot believe that was not our only date. But she loved it. She thought I made her laugh. So I was like, thank God, because that's fucking crazy to do that on a first date. But yeah, I did Bubble Bass's order. And I that is like, to me, I just fucking love SpongeBob, dude. It's so funny. It's so funny, especially those first 2 seasons are just insane.
The adult jokes. I like the adult jokes that are weaved in there. So like the cartoon's even funnier as you get older because you're catching all the jokes.
Yeah, no, dude, I still, oh my God, like I still laugh at everything. Like it's fresh to me. And just, I don't know, man. SpongeBob's hilarious. And I would say my top 2 are SpongeBob and South Park.
Good call. Yeah.
Still love South Park.
Do you have a toy off the top of your head you remember when you were a kid you really enjoyed or liked?
Wrestling figures to the max.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, my favorite superhero, Spider-Man. So I had Spider-Man toys, Spider-Man games. Like Spider-Man was my shit. G.I. Joes, love G.I. Joes. And I was also a big Ninja Turtles guy.
Hell yeah. So now, okay. Have Gabby close her ears when you go home and have her listen to this. Don't let her listen to this part. This is the last childhood question. Who was your celebrity crush as a kid?
Oh shit. That's a tough one. Cause I would say that was most of them were like divas, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like Lita, and like Tori Wilson, and like that sort of thing. Because I never like, if you ask my friends this, they'll tell you like, oh, the Pink Ranger, and I'm like, I don't know. Like,
I hear that from a lot of people actually.
yeah, like I don't, like not for me. Um,
Too skinny.
yeah, right. Like just not like I don't know. I'm sure there's one again. I'll be like, fuck yeah.
You'll be on the way home going, shit, I should have said Topanga. Oh wait, he's too young for that. I forgot. That's from Boy Meets World.
No,
that's
yeah,
a little bit
I know that
before your
because
time.
most of my friends are in their late 30s or whatever. So
yeah,
like that's a VSK one, or Brian and those guys. So yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I would say mostly divas.
Would you rather have a personal trainer or a personal chef?
Personal chef.
That's where it's at.
Big one. That's a big one.
Worst shoot job you've ever had?
Briefly, when I was growing up, my dad was a contractor, and
Mhm.
right off of Long Island is Fire Island, which is beach towns. It's just beaches with beach houses, and like middle of August, especially when what was it, Katrina, or was it no, it was Sandy. When Sandy hit, Hurricane Sandy, there was a lot of work, and that's great. That was great for my dad. But working on those houses, like, so my dad was mainly roofing.
Yeah. Oh, hell no. Not at 6 foot plus 200 plus pounds. Roofing is not
unreal. So for me, my job was mostly like, because he was on the roof, I wasn't. So it was like mostly like, like you're throwing away trash and shit. So that was brief. But and then just like I've done like food deliveries in Manhattan.
Mhm.
And
Oh,
driving through Manhattan is just the fucking worst. To where there is every single day I've done a food delivery in Manhattan, I've almost killed somebody. Like,
yeah. Or
100%.
someone almost killed you.
Yeah, but just
like
because
Las Vegas driving. Same
people
thing.
just walk right in front of your car while you're going like very fast. It's just crazy. It's crazy. People don't believe in life or death there. It's insane. I would say that was the worst.
What shows are you binging right now on Netflix or YouTube? Is there anything you like watching on your travels or listening to?
Me and my wife just finished We Love Tires with Shane Gillis.
Okay.
Hilarious.
I haven't seen that one yet.
So funny. Because I love Shane Gillis.
Yeah.
But she last year, she's never seen Breaking Bad, so we ran through all that. She's never seen Dexter, so we ran through all that. Because I would say my wife, there's a lot of movies and TV she's never seen, so that's been a lot of fun for me to like watch her live through a first viewing of something. And that's really fun. But we also became AMC A-list members, so like we try to see at least 2 to 3 movies a month in theaters.
Yeah.
And that's been so fun. Even if it's like, oh, I've never heard of this movie, let's go see it, just because we have it. Like, we have like the membership. So
you get discounts on popcorn and stuff too, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, and the real thing also for people who go to movies and they end up trying to like sneak something in, the employees don't give a damn. Just hide it, but they don't give a shit. They know how much a bag of candy, like a box of candy will cost. Like, they know you ain't got $11 for a couple Skittles,
They also, at least where we go, they just don't want to be there in general, so they're not even paying attention. Like, they're just like, they hate their lives. So
Lucky 13 checking in, just saying good morning to you, sir. We have people all over the world. So what happens is, like, we'll have people in England that they're up at 3 and 4 in the morning and they check in and talk with us and stuff. So every now and then, if I see someone that's just getting, what's up?
Is that the Lucky 13 or
possible?
Cool.
Don't know. No. Honestly, I don't believe so.
Oh, okay.
That one is not
cool.
it.
It's still cool. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, Lucky. If it is you, DM me later and we'll figure something out there. Do you have any ghost stories or spooky stories that something may have happened over your life that you just can't explain?
Oh yeah. Oh man, I am not the type to do this, but there's one with my grandmother that I don't think I'm comfortable sharing. And I'm not like that at all.
No, you're good. You're good.
But,
you're good.
I mean, yeah, no,
okay.
I'm not like that at all, too. I'm sorry, but I do have a story with my grandmother that passed away, and yeah, to me, it's too deep.
Can't. Well, you also, you can't explain that stuff. What are you gonna do, right?
It is very much like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very much like, it's not even like I'm uncomfortable with it. It's just so
personal,
unbelievable. But to me, like, it did very much happen. And
yeah,
like I met her and I talked to her and like,
it's healing. I've had that with quite a few. I'm out of parents and I'm out of grandparents. So I can tell you, it's actually very healing when anything happens of any sort, just a dream, a passing, I smell a smell or something. I'm just like, cool.
Yeah,
I'll take that over nothing.
For me, like, I won't get into details, but it was like she sat with me and talked to me and told me some unbelievable stuff that ended up happening. And like, it's just very, very surreal.
I chalk it up to love, be thankful. Just be thankful, My wife's Cuban, so they're very open people. And as a white boy, I'm like, what in the hell is going on here? But you know what I mean? Like, but I learned over time they believe there's a whole other side to things. And I go, you know what? I can appreciate that. I've had some weird things happen to me I can't explain. And yeah, it is what it is.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. 2 more questions for you. We're out of here. I don't want to, you know what I mean? In your travels, have you fallen in love with any area of the country or world that you would consider as the second home down the road?
Oh man. Yeah, I loved Texas. Loved it. Austin specifically.
You just want to go to Kill Tony, don't you? Are you a Kill Tony fan too?
Big Kill Tony fan.
Shane Gillis was just on Kill Tony this week.
Fuck yeah. Yeah. So absolutely. One of the best.
If you got a chance, check it out.
I love the Pacific Northwest. So, like, because I love, my favorite weather is the rain. I love the rain. I love when it downpours.
Yep.
Like, if there's a storm outside, I'm so happy. And I love, that's why I loved, like the Pacific Northwest, like Seattle and like those, places. And I even loved, I wouldn't live there, but I loved Alaska. Alaska was really cool.
We have a follow-up. He is a different Lucky.
Yeah, okay.
So
that's cool. Okay, good. Cool. I was just wondering.
Yeah, I believe it might be part of the Havoc Pro Wrestling crew. We have quite a little group of them in here, so I wouldn't be surprised there. Cool. So you're not a collector, so I will ask you this: if you felt like you could master one craft or skill, do you have a goal of maybe doing something one day with your hands or becoming an expert in something?
So, not necessarily, but for me, because I love to act, but I've never pursued acting. For me, wrestling is a place where I get to act, and I love that aspect of it as well. But if it was something with my hands, it would be to learn to play an instrument. Like, I would love to learn how to really play guitar or something.
Hell yeah. I wanted to too, but my hands were too meaty, so bass. So
I don't have like my fingers are very like meaty. So like not like I can't like,
Yeah. I got like these short fingered hobbit hand shits, like wide. So
yeah, same.
base, bass is the way to go on stuff like that.
Yeah, right. That'd be sick. I would do that. Every band needs a bass player, so
I pretty much bass players are awesome. I'm pretty much done with questions. Brant, was there anything else? I've unfortunately took over a lot of the I was having a good time. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Please. This is the best interview I've ever done. So
awesome. Thanks, man.
This is fucking so awesome.
No, you've been actually real amazing too. I had one last question about the mask. Any story or backstory behind the mask for the entrance?
No, so that was made by Rockwell Masks, and that's very much one where when it comes to artists and people who do these things as a craft, I'm very much the same way with tattoos. I don't like to have too much control over it. So I'll say like, hey, this is the general idea, but I want to see what you come up with. Most of my tattoos, like my entire sleeve is pretty much me just telling the guy like, I trust you because the first piece you did for me was great. Like my very first tattoo was a very specific, this is what I want, whatever. And then once he did that, great. Everything else, I was like, what do you got? Let me see what you got. And I'm sure I'll be happy with it. And same thing with, kind of like most of my tattoos are like that. So with that stuff, it's pretty much the same way. Because I've had 2 masks made by Rockwell, and they were both very much like just general ideas and like, here's my gimmick, or here's my character, and just let them kind of cook, and it's great. It's really, really great. And it's something that kind of became just a cool added layer of like in the entrance, like, if people at GCW, if they've never seen me before, oh, it's pretty cool. There was a comment I saw, I don't know if it was in Deathmatch Elite or if it was on social media, which I love that Facebook group, by the way. I love it. I read it every day.
It's good and bad. It's wild. That's my morning drama, going in there and just checking out what's being said.
I love it. I love it so much. Not only when they're put me over, because that's been nice too, but even just the normal stuff they talk about, like the stuff that happened this weekend, we won't discuss. It's just so fun. But I don't know if they said it here or there, but somebody was like, the new look was great and the new attitude was great, because if he came out and was just like, hey, remember Bear Country, it would have went over like a fart in church.
Truth.
And I was like, oh, cool. I love that. Like, I loved seeing that comment, and I liked that the entrance gear helped with that. So I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Well, gear, especially if you would have went out there wrapped, deathmatch people would have bitched at you for it. You know what I mean? And if you came out in deathmatch whites, like, oh my gosh, here comes God mode Bear, they would have given you shit for that. So I have to say, I think you did strike a fairly good balance there on that. Making a statement without forcing that statement on others is maybe a good way to put it. You know what I mean? You proved it instead of telling people I've got it. You showed them you had it. I think that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, because I debated doing a promo for the show, but I was like, I don't think so. I want to keep it like, kind of like, I want like there to be like a unsure mystique to it.
Yeah.
So, because I don't even know how I'm going to do it. So, like,
well, no shit. Your match with Slade, the first 2 to 3 minutes were make or break, and you knew it. You were going to go through all that shit, and they were either going to react to it or they weren't, and you would have known if that was a fart there on the spot too.
Sure.
So I mean,
facts.
I mean, I felt like that's what you were trying to do too, is shock value, come out strong, boom.
Yes.
In that match.
Yeah, because I was trying to eliminate any factor too of people being like, because there are instances too where it's like, oh, it's this person's first death match or something, and they take like one thing, or I was like, I want to eliminate any doubt right off the bat. So I was like, I told Slade, those 2 towers are mine. Like, spear me through the first one, and I don't want any time to pass. Pick me up, next one right away. He was like, are you sure? I was like, yup.
Let's do it.
Do it.
Yeah. If you're dressed, you might as well dance.
Yeah, there you go, dude. and we're here.
We're here.
Like
and everybody's
we're,
watching too.
And that too. So I'm like, let me just also I think it too, it helps, like, even just as a nerves thing, like, let's just get it over with, get it over with. Just get me through it. And it ended up being so awesome. I loved it too. It wasn't even like because the adrenaline, like, it wasn't like, oh fuck, I hated that. It actually felt awesome. So,
well, I was going to say too, you started to realize with the weapons, pain is pain is pain.
Yeah,
it's pain.
Yeah,
it's still
and that's what I'm noticing too with these deathmatch weapons. Because everyone asks me, like, what's worse, this, whatever, and I've kind of now over the last 5 accumulated some different things, and I'm like, they just kind of hurt in different ways. Like,
yeah.
I still think, dude, like, I tell all the normal wrestlers this, the worst thing to me still to this day is a steel chair. Like,
really, just because
yeah,
the
dude.
edges can accidentally catch.
No, because it's a big piece of fucking steel and it's just smacking you in the back. And like, I don't know,
and if
man.
you have a broad back,
yeah, and just, dude, like, sometimes a steel chair shot to the back, you just feel that shit rattle your bones and your organs, and you're just like, man, if you swing that again, I might double leg you. Like, I might double leg you and just tell you to stop. But like, it's just that's what I'm really noticing with all these weapons. It's just pain in different areas, really. It's not like, I don't know. Fuck that popper bat though. Fuck that, dude. That shit
too loud.
I was deaf in my ear for like 4 days. Fuck that. That thing sucked.
I've heard that from a couple people that has said the ringing doesn't stop for a little while. And
4 days. 4 days and my hearing came back in my left ear. I was actually getting worried there for a minute. Like, oh shit, am I half deaf for life?
So all the greats say that they don't like to do toothpicks or pencils. So think about that, because I guess toothpicks are really difficult to get out. They're sharp, so they can go in deep, and they have a tendency to break, which means they can sometimes be difficult to pull out. So helpful hint there.
Thank you. Yeah. So with toothpicks, I learned more recently. Pencils, I always knew. I knew that was like a thing where people were like, don't do that. Like, I knew that for a while. Toothpicks I was unfamiliar with until I saw Sicko recently, and I was just like, oh, that looks like a lot.
It is.
Yeah.
Murdoch hated it. He said he would have chunks of toothpick coming out of his body weeks later because stuff would go in and you just can't get to it.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. It's also don't wrestle in fiberglass. I saw fiberglass this weekend. You've done construction, man. Fiberglass is a bitch. That takes weeks to work out.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, so for me, I just like anything that's theatrical. So like, I didn't think I was gonna like the gusset plates because there's no noise and stuff like that. But to me, there is more of a benefit to it because of, like, it does add so much color, and I actually do like the visual of it, like just being there. And they're very easy to take out. Oh man, I shouldn't say this. Well, I'm gonna say it. They're very easy to take out because they go in like butter. But I really try to make it look like it's a struggle to take it out. Just because I just think it's cool. And I do think, I'm like, oh man, like when I watch it back, I'm like, oh, that's cool. But there are things too, like what did I see recently where I was like, why?
I do that a lot, actually.
I forgot what it was. I was watching a tournament.
Wicked 13, maybe? The backyard one?
No. I forgot what it was. It was a week ago. I was watching on YouTube and I was just like, I saw something and the crowd didn't really react to it at all. And I was like, oh, why? I don't know. Not even like why, like in a sense of like, oh, conserving your bumps or anything like that. It wasn't like that at all. I just meant like, I feel like the fans didn't care. Like, so I try to keep that stuff in mind too, of like what fans react to and stuff like that.
Well, you naturally like to act. This is a bonus question, but you naturally like
Please.
to act. So I just want to ask you personally, personal opinion, do you feel like deathmatch wrestling should have more breaks for acting? Or do you feel like you had enough breaks to show your pain in between spots?
Can
I
you,
only
could you, yeah,
okay.
can you rephrase that?
You
Yeah.
have a tendency to be very good at acting.
Oh,
And I
thanks.
was wondering, do you feel the pace of deathmatch wrestling is a little too quick so you're not able to sell long enough? Or do you feel like it's moving at a
Oh,
decent pace? What I'm saying is, do you feel it should slow down so you can sell that you just took a 2 bundle to the face? Or do you feel that the pace right now is decent enough that it's moving? I don't want you to change the industry. I'm just saying that,
yeah, no, this is
selling is
great.
huge. And in the deathmatch,
So,
selling is kind of not always.
yeah, I feel like that's on the worker. So, because that's another thing that I said, that's a parallel with traditional wrestling,
Yes.
where I do feel like it's on the worker, not necessarily the style, to where it's
Okay.
like, um, do I feel like it's been easier to sell and put like in, show emotion, do that thing in deathmatch? Yes. It gives me more openings to do that. Um, Whereas in a traditional sense, a lot of wrestlers have a tendency to go way too fast because, yes, there are spots and there are moments that need to be explosive and need to be quick, but some wrestlers don't know how to slow down and put over and let fans digest what they just
Bingo.
saw.
Bingo.
And with deathmatch, I found it to be a lot easier. Um, or not easier, more so like it's been I just find those openings way more.
Yeah.
Um, to where you can be explosive and do whatever, but then okay, fans just saw you take something gnarly. Now I have this opening to really shake my hands and show my face and put it over. And um, yeah, I feel like it's been those openings have been more frequent in deathmatch.
I only had to ask you because your fortes come in training and acting. And those are two things you don't see very heavily in the deathmatch scene. So I figured if there's someone I'm going to ask, it's going to be
Sure.
someone who has an expertise in that. And again, you already know the things that you're bringing to the table are things that's why everybody's saying such great things about it, is because
Thank you.
you are a more well-rounded wrestler, I would say, because you understand the mental and the physical side. Whereas some deathmatch wrestlers may feel that 90% of their show is physical. So,
Sure.
yeah.
And and again, I'm being a dead horse here, but like, again, that's a thing that is very parallel with traditional, where
Yes.
you'll see that those same issues. And it's just, I like to really reiterate those things because I see a lot of people, it's great to have these criticisms, but sometimes I feel like people think it's exclusive to deathmatch, and I'm like, if you look at traditional wrestling, there's a lot of that too. And I think in traditional wrestling sometimes it's worse, just because it's like,
Mm,
oh man, the fans are seeing this stuff and they're just not digesting it, or
yeah.
it's on the wrestler. And again, this is coming from, I love car crash wrestling. I love when people jump off things, or I love crazy poison ranas, and I love all that shit. But it's on the wrestler to make it mean something. And you see that a lot too in the traditional world of wrestling. Um, but in deathmatch, yeah, I do think like um it's been a lot of fun for me to do that. Uh in the the few matches I've had. But like it's I feel like it's more almost rewarding because the moments are so maximized and the fans are really just there. They're so
Yeah.
there to make it like they feel it too, and they feel okay, like
Yeah.
we are making moments here. And it's been so fun. I'm really like, I can't stress enough, like I've been having the most fun like of my entire career with this stuff. And yeah, no, it's been a great ride. It's been super super rewarding. And even like if nothing comes from it and nothing, I'm not even doing it for that. I'm being rewarded right now. with
Yes.
just the amount of fun I'm having. You know, and if it doesn't lead to something, if it doesn't lead to greater pastures or whatever, I'm already living it. Like, I'm already having the best time. So that's it. And if I get to work with some real deathmatch greats, that to me is like awesome. And, you know, if I do once again become a contracted wrestler one day, great. If not, that's great too. Like, I'm just having fun right now, and something me and my wife are very, very we prioritize right now is living for today. Because if you have one foot on yesterday and the other foot on tomorrow, you're pissing on today. And that's something we talk about a lot. And wrestlers too, like, this is in every area of wrestling. Every time you go through a curtain, it could be your last. And you don't know going through a curtain, it could be your last. So I try to remember that too, whether it's deathmatch or traditional. Because, you know, it's funny, people talk about, oh, what you put your body through with the deathmatch stuff. And it's like, yo, 2 weeks ago, I had 2 death matches, and I came out of those feeling like I could wrestle again. And then I had a traditional match with Hammerstone, and it was one of my favorites. Yo,
it was Hammerstone. You know,
how was the nightmare pendulum?
Yo, exactly.
Oh, shit.
How was the nightmare pendulum? Yes.
Like, that's all. That's the only
good answer.
So again, and that's one of my favorite singles matches I've had this year. But I came out of it feeling like I woke up the next day like I had to peel myself out of bed.
Yeah,
like I was like, holy shit, my body feels like I was in a car wreck.
Yeah. Well, you hit a wall multiple times if you wrestled with him. Just dude, contact alone is like
shoulder block.
That dude is a ball of fucking solid muscle. I did a suicide dive onto him, and I feel like I went straight into a brick wall.
Yeah. Hey, dude, it's like a pit bull, just all muscle.
All solid, dense muscle.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't even
funny.
know how much he's eaten to maintain that. You know what I mean? Like, he's got to be maintaining that muscle. It's got to be serious amount of protein.
I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. Like, people don't understand the work that goes into having a physique like that.
Yeah.
And it is the most, they're the most, when I say they, I mean like people like him, Brian Cage, like they are the most disciplined people I've ever met in my life.
Yeah. Dude, he posts videos of just like, he's like, oh, I only did this many stories today. And it's like 70, 80 some stories of stairs. I'm like, man, what?
And then he constantly reminds people too that he's just as human as all of us. He'll post pictures of when he was a teenager or early 20s, and he's just a thin kid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you think they're born that way, but they're not.
Yeah.
They work very, very hard.
There's only so many people that have seen a young Hammerstone picture. You would not have seen you would not have banked that's the same man 20 years later.
Insane.
Absolutely.
Tremendous amount of respect. Tremendous amount of respect.
I'll also say, for the amount of muscle he actually has a lot of range of motion, where I think guys that are bigger than him would have lost some of it. So I feel like he really has worked on a little bit of his stretching and range of motion too. Which kind of makes sense. He's less stiff then. So, you know.
Yeah. And you know what, too, when people are like, you know, he's a real dude. So like, I've worked with plenty of guys that look like they have his physique, not so much like his physique, because he's really 1 in a million. But I've worked with so many body guys that look at me in my singlet and they're like, this fucking shit bag. And I'm like, okay, whatever, I don't care. But Hammer, dude, like, he's one of those. Him and Brian Cage are two that, like, you know, they've made me feel like, how do I put this? Like, you know, I'll crack a joke like, oh man, look at me, I don't look like you or whatever. And they're like, no, dude, you are like, they make you feel very good about yourself. Because they're very human. And I would say him and Hammer and Brian Cage are the two that when I've worked with them, they've really, like, they're givers. They're givers, and they're very very human in that way, where they're like, you're like, oh man, okay, you know. Because when you do, I'm sorry, like you do, like a guy like me, you do have to put that wall up at first, just
Mhm.
because you don't want to be, I've worked with
Yeah.
plenty
Yeah.
of dudes, plenty of body guys that look at you like this fucking piece of shit, and you're like, there's nothing you can do about that. You're like, okay, I don't care. But those two, man, and it's funny enough, they have two of the most impressive physiques I've ever seen. So
They both do a ton of work on the Las Vegas local scene also. They really support FSW out here.
yeah,
Hammerstone went on a multiple year run out here in Vegas. So
yeah,
yeah, we've seen some of the best of his younger work for sure. When I mean, spry 20-some-year-old Hammerstone, nightmare pendulums off the top rope. Some wild
Jesus
shit we've seen.
Christ.
I don't even know if you know the name, but him and Ice Williams were just excellent together. Ice had just went into WWE ID program.
Yeah, okay. I was just gonna say,
Fantastic.
I just watched him versus Bobby Orlando, the show before Hit Him Up.
Yeah, man. He's another one that I remember talking to him going, dude, you're gonna be something. Take care of yourself. You need to get in a bigger market, yada yada. And there we are. Good for him,
That's awesome, man. I love that. Yeah, him and Bobby killed it this past week. Was it 2 weeks ago? I don't know, something like that.
It all runs together after we had 9 matches to review over 9 days or 10 days between me and Brant. So it all kind of gelled together into one. And yeah.
Wow.
Before I forget, any wrestlers you'd like to shout out right now? That Gabby lady, I heard about her.
Yeah, Gabby. I mean, yeah, I'll put over for a minute. Because when am I not putting her over? But she is she is the most impressive person I've ever met in my life. Somebody who she played female football for 10 years. Was a linebacker. Has won 2 national championships. Has won medals in powerlifting. In 2020, she was driving to work and she was hit by a Mack truck, broke both of her legs and her hips, and she was in the hospital for a month. Does not remember that month at all. And rebounded from that and played in that season of football. I believe it was a little more than half a year later, but the rebound that she made was otherworldly. And just somebody that is a I really hope you get to meet her. She's just a beam of light to anybody that gets to meet her. And she's another one, man. You see what you get. This like our friends will joke, because we love each other so much. Again, what you see on social media, that's just who we are. She's like, because you see a lot of people, men and women, they'll be like, oh, love you, W on social media, and then behind the closed doors, they're fucking ruthless or whatever. And just Gab is just, she's like rarely ever angry, rarely ever upset. Like she's just such a positive person that has made me better as a human being, like in almost every aspect, really. But then, because she fell into wrestling. That's how we met. Because she was a personal trainer, and a lot of our cap guys were going to this facility where she was a personal trainer. And she's like, "What is this wrestling you guys do?" And they were like, "Just come to a show, check it out." And that's how we met, and we started dating, and it's fucking right off the bat. It was one of those like fell in love immediately with each other, like right off the bat. And then 6 or 8 months into dating, she was like, "What do you think about me trying wrestling?" And I was like, "You honestly should." Like,
Yeah.
I know you're not a fan or you never were a fan. Her only introduction to wrestling was Creative Pro shows, but I was like, then you as a wrestler, you learn about people they bring into the PC and they're not fans at all either, and that's totally fine. Kurt Angle wasn't a fan. Chris Statler wasn't a fan. You know, it's fine. And she's just somebody who picked it up so quick. I feel proud because I trained her from scratch. but like I can't like take
That's
credit
awesome.
because she's just an unbelievable human being. And the things that she's done, the matches that she's done, I still like, I watch and I'm like, she hasn't even needed my help putting together a match since like maybe her first year, and she's like 3 years in now, which is like, when I was 3 years in, I didn't know what the fuck. I was like, I
Yeah.
was a fucking bro. Like, me 3 years in versus her 3 years in are two totally different things. Because even like, I feel like I find myself learning from her all the time, where like, she'll do something, she'll put together a match with somebody and whatever. And I think it's because she wasn't a fan. She thinks way more logically, you know?
The
Where it's
love
like,
doesn't blind her. The
yeah,
love blinds a lot of
exactly.
wrestlers. You know that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It blinds me all the time because like, sometimes I want to do things even if it's not for what's best for the match.
Yep.
And a lot of wrestlers do that. And she doesn't. She thinks very logically. So she's so good at maximizing moments and all this stuff. And you know, it's cool because she's very like, she has this happy-go-lucky gimmick with her. She is shoot like a gnome enthusiast. She has been since she was 10 years old. She's collected. She has a collection of like, I think over 500. So I'm
cool.
not a collector. I'm not a collector, but she is. I didn't mention that. But she very much is. And it's funny because it's this gimmick that's very one, unique, but also very smiley and very happy and bubbly and all this
Yeah.
stuff. But in the ring, bell to bell, she is a fucking monster. And has performed feats of strength that I don't really, even women that are doing that sort of thing, I truly don't believe people do it to her level. To where like, I mean, just some really unbelievable stuff. And I'm like, it really her journey really has been all her. I helped her in the beginning, but like, you know, I can't even remember the last time, like, you know, I got her on a show or something. Because
Yeah.
it's like, everything's been so organic and natural when she started with Beyond and Wrestling Open. And most of the shows and most of the connections she's made has been through like Beyond and Limitless Wrestling. So it's not even like, oh, because she's her, you know, that's her husband and he helps her. It's like, not at all. Like, I haven't really, besides helping her, like, you know, and yeah, and I'm not even the type to, yeah, I trained her, but you know,
You can't
I
train
also,
drive.
yeah,
You
you
can't
can't.
drive. Personal drive cannot be taught.
Yeah, and I also don't let it, because I see this hurt a lot of wrestling relationships too. I don't critique her matches. I don't at all. I'm like, ask them, ask him. I know, I tell her who to ask. I point her in the right direction, but I see that sort of thing drive a wedge through a lot of relationships, because it's like,
Yes.
I never ever want to create that relationship
Doubt.
of, oh, she's constantly trying to win me over, trying to win me over. She's already won me over. She's won
Yeah.
me over. I love everything. I love everything. If I you know, unless it's something glaring, but even then, if it's something glaring, I'm like, it's just fucking wrestling. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
So yes, you do need feedback and you need criticisms to get better, but I don't want it coming from me. I point her, I say, that's the person you want to ask. They watched it. Make sure you ask them. But and that's been the best route. And I honestly think more wrestling relationships should do that, because you know, that's how it should be anyway. You don't want to just be learning from your partner, you know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you do value that person's opinion, but there's plenty of people you should be learning from. So it's just been way better that way. And it makes it more fun for us. There's no pressure. There's no like, it doesn't create that dynamic either. That weird, like,
Mm-hmm.
it's been
The
very,
judgy dynamic.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 Like, no matter what, like, yeah, criticism and feedback, excuse me, is so important. But like, if you just did a match, the last person you want to, you walk through the curtain, the last person you want picking apart your match is the person you love.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like,
And
oh, like,
depend on for strength on the way home when you're doubting
yeah,
yourself.
like,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I do think more people should maybe think about that, because I do see it all the time. I see it drive a wedge in people all the time. It's a shame, but but it's also that's a life thing. That's a learning thing, and that's a life thing. But for us, it's been so fun. Uh, so yeah, that was me putting over my wife for a long period of time. And other people,
I started it though. I made
Yeah.
sure, you know what I mean? And I think it's fair though, because I've listened to you talk about her, and I think it's only fair that you say what you feel, and that's how you feel.
Sure.
Yeah.
Other people I'll shout out without a story behind it. Right off the bat, like I think one of the best wrestlers in the world is Aaron Rourke, and soon people will find that out. I promise. Young talent that is slowly starting to break their way out right now are the Shooter Boys. They're 19-year-old prodigies. They're out of every person at Cap in history, every trainee, they are the two that picked it up the quickest. And they're just absolute machines.
That'd be some names to pass along to Brett, because I know right now he's definitely looking for some youth. And that would be a nice injection. So yeah, it wouldn't hurt to maybe pass it along to like Mance or Janela or somebody.
Sure.
Yeah.
If that was if that's the topic, like, if we were to divert just for a second, for conversation purposes, like talent who I feel should be in GCW, Bobby Orlando is one of them. He is somebody that, like, I feel like at first maybe the fans would be like, ooh, because like the gimmick with the goat and everything, and he's a very erratic character.
It's an indie character,
Bell to bell, dude. People don't know this either, because I'm just now telling everyone this. That kid is I don't think he would do death matches, but he is like a CZW kid at heart, just like me. Like,
no shit.
And he's only just now taking it easy with the bumps, but he is somebody who he has taken some of the most wild bumps I've ever seen. Not even like falling off a roof or something, but I've just seen like some bumps he's taken in matches where I'm like, dude, I think that's something even Janela would cringe at. Like, oh my God. And I think that's a way he would, how hard he goes bell to bell is what would win him. What he would win people over with that. And I would say the other one besides Bobby is TJ Crawford.
Yeah.
TJ Crawford is somebody who I would love to see in GCW. Love to see in GCW.
You never know. Brett's always looking, and it's a personality game. If someone comes in and does exactly what you did, they're gonna swim.
Sure. He was put in the Scramble in Hartford, the Top Play show, but again, and he did great. Fans they really gave him love, but that was just like, I know what he's capable of. And that it was just scratching the surface. If he was put with like a top, like, if he
Scrambles are just spot fests. You can't really judge. You can't judge anyone on their single skills in a scramble. You don't have a chance to see their psychology, their selling. It's just, you don't have a chance for that. It spot out the door.
I think if he was put in there with like either like a top heel, or if he was put in there with like somebody that can match, like a Jordan Oliver, I think people would be like, yo, this kid needs to be on every show. Like, people would, I really truly believe that. And I'm somebody too where I don't like to, because I don't think people realize this in wrestling. You'll see people recommend people all the time, and it doesn't measure up. So when that happens, people don't realize that falls on you. That's why I don't like to recommend people too much, just because, like, I truly believe if you recommend somebody, that it should really be worth it. And to me, like, TJ is that guy where I would be like, bro, I'm not even sweating it. Like, and I'm friends with Penny. There's plenty of, and even it's so much so that I don't even feel, I'll go back to the Shooter Boys. I don't feel like they're ready yet. And that's why I wouldn't recommend. They do have some growing to do. Athletes wise, athletically, they're fucking excellent, but I want them to grow as characters more. On like the local indies and like the beyonds and then like that stuff to like build those characters before a place like GCW where you'll really be put to the test, you know? And then I'll flip it back to where somebody like TJ Crawford, he's been ready for a while.
Now, I just want to tell you from a training perspective, the art of the promo is almost non-existent on the independent scene. The more you can do with your trainees on promos, the better they'll be. We push it all the time because at the higher levels, it's necessary. I don't know why they're not practicing more down here. So when the camera comes on, you know, they're ready to roll.
Yeah. That is something where I feel like because I'm not like a promo god, I would say our promo guy is MJF and Caster too, because he's real fun. My main goal at our school is just breaking people out of their shells. But I do give good references to where I'll be like, watch how this guy talks, watch how this guy talks. And I haven't even told Atticus this, but like I push all of his promos to our school, to our students, because I'm like, pay attention to the creativity and how somebody makes themselves stand out. Because it's really not going to be the promos that are like date and time, venue, when the dust settles, you know, it's people like Atticus where it's like, oh man, look at the way this kid is telling his own story.
Yeah.
And the resources and the skill set that he has. You know, yes, I do all my interviews in my car, but I don't believe your car is the best place to do a promo for a show. You can see that a lot. But again, and like that is somebody, you know, and it's funny, I haven't even told Atticus that, but I don't think he knows most of his promos I send to our students.
Yeah. Huh. No, well, he's gonna find out tonight. He's a listener. So
cool. Oh,
maybe,
I didn't know that. Sweet.
Yeah. Oh, we're a listener. We're a wrestlers podcast. That's one thing I can say for sure is, yeah, we get a lot of people listening just to find out what's being said by the, you know, the fan base. So
very cool.
We took 3 hours off you, dude. I was having a good time. And I just saw you yawn. I just realized it's like 1 a.m. in the morning over there.
Dude, if you wanted me to go 2 more hours, I could. I'm great. I'm good.
Dude, maybe we have to do another round down the road again, because I think the chemistry here with all of us was pretty damn good. You're a great interview too. So I definitely appreciate it.
Anytime, dude. Seriously, anytime. I would love to.
You heard it here, guys.
Before we went live, I told you I'm a chatter. So
love it.
And when it's about wrestling, I could go on wrestling or my wife. I could go on for a very long time. So
thank you for being patient too. Sometimes I accidentally interrupt, especially when I'm tired. I just got off illness, so thank you so much for being patient, man.
Not at all. This has been awesome.
I think your passion for your wrestling and your wife definitely came through across on this one. And I loved hearing like your psychology and everything, like at the beginning. I absolutely loved hearing all that stuff for sure, man.
Awesome. Yeah, this has been my favorite interview. And I've really enjoyed the interviews I've done this year just because I couldn't do them for a long time.
Yeah.
With AEW, there's a process and there's a and you know, now coming out of it, I was like, that's something I want to do. I want to take more interviews and stuff like that. And I've tried to take at least one a week or one every other week or sometimes multiple. I did 2 today, so that's really cool. And it's been really fun just to like kind of like, you know, like I said, like, you know, what you see is what you get, and I just really like to be open about all this stuff. So it's always super fun for me. To me, it's not like a job or it's not like there's no like mission behind it, you know. I just like to, now that I'm like in this community and now that I'm like back on the indies and stuff like that, it's almost like a relearning of not only like reminding people who I am, but also like hey, here's a lot that you don't know. And vice versa too. Like just now that I'm in this deathmatch community, there's so much to learn, and there's so much to I try to, anything I really put my mind to and anything I invest myself in, I try to like, I not only prioritize it, but I kind of make it my life. So it's been nothing but, this is like one of the greatest years of my life, really.
Hell yeah. Before I forget, because I was going to mention it earlier, I see you doing more down the road at bigger places. Please protect that moneymaker right here. You know what I mean? Cut above the hairline, please. You know?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. So my wife will appreciate that, just because I'm very much the type that's like, if I see that I'm receding, like if I have a receding hairline, or if I see it start to go, I'm taking the buzzer and going,
yep,
like
yep.
I don't care. My wife very much cares. So
yeah. I get it. I get it.
So she'll appreciate you saying that a lot.
Any socials, or would you like to share anywhere that you're going to be coming up that maybe some new fans would like to see you at?
Yeah, sure. So, well, socials are on Instagram, Bear Bronson _, and on X, at Bear Bronson BC. I have brand new, coming out of AEW, I have brand new designs on my Pro Wrestling Tee store. I had a box of shirts that I quickly ran through, and I have to get a new one because coming out of AEW again, like my wife's been really great with catching me up on the merch game, because I've never been really good at that before. So she's been helping me out a lot with that. And I'll make sure to stay updated on that stuff at shows. But on my Pro Wrestling Tee store, there's some really, really sick designs on there that I'm personally thrilled about. And then coming up, I'd say this weekend I'm at C4 in Canada. And my main one this month, man, is August 24th, Homecoming.
That's right.
Against Tremont. To me, that's a dream match, a true dream match. That I personally, it still doesn't really feel real. And Tremont made an Instagram post about it, I believe yesterday or the day before. And he, in his caption, he had some really, really cool words that struck me right here. And I thought that was just, it got me pumped up, man. I was like, because the thing is, and again, I'm another tangent here. With Tremont, like, what makes it feel so special is a tough break for a lot of wrestlers is they have these dream matches with their dream opponents, but your dream opponent doesn't want to. It doesn't mean they want to wrestle you.
Correct.
You have to make it so that they want to wrestle you. So the fact that he feels the same way, and I've read the things he said and the things he's told me in person, it just makes it even more special to me. And the more I'm like, oh, fuck, man. Like, I'm so ready to just give it my all and have it really, really, it is a dream match of mine, but I want to make sure bell to bell too. It's a dream match that I can be proud of. And I want to make him proud too,
That's fair.
So
I'm trying to remember who told me this story, but there was someone that said Shane Douglas was their person. And they found out they had a match together, and they contacted Shane and said, look, man, I look up to you. I remember this and this and this. And I remember your famous yellow gear and da-da-da. And he said, I went to the ring. I got in there with Shane. I look across the ring. He's in his yellow gear just for me. I'm like,
wow.
How can you ask for better than that? Like that is a true tip. Like, dude, I mean, come on. Yeah, I can't remember who it was that said that, but they said that was like the ultimate, was that he met me in the ring in my favorite gear. Like he got to see like the real legit guy right from TV directly. And you can't ask for better than that.
Holy shit. That's cool.
I just want people to know, man, you've gotten a lot of love come up in chat tonight. I didn't get all of it. Brant couldn't even get all of it. It's been very busy tonight in chat. We've had a lot of people checking in to say hi.
Oh shit.
No, if you get a chance, go back. We like to keep chat up on YouTube. So if you go back and listen to the show later, you'll be able to see full chat.
Please do. Yeah. So for anyone that doesn't know, this entire interview, I can't check the chat or else it'll exit me from the interview. So I absolutely will. I probably as soon as I'm done, I'm gonna check it out and just see what everyone said. And yeah, if I didn't acknowledge at all or anything, it wasn't like a slight or me ignoring. I just
that's actually us not getting it to you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Some
that's
of them
us not
up,
passing.
Like, shout out Debhausen, but like, you know, other like maybe just a few. But I'm so excited to check it out because it's just so cool.
I think this one absolutely fantastic. So I'm absolutely, I don't know, man. I knew what I was kind of getting into, and I'm like, gosh, I hope we kind of click enough to where he just opens up. And I feel we got a fair amount of that tonight.
I'd say so.
Yeah, there's
Debhausen, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah. We're getting tons of people. Can't wait for homecoming. See, I'll tell you now. Here we go. Dreams come true. We've got I'll be there for homecoming. That's Frankie telling you. Let's see what else we have here. Great one saying, please bring merch to LA. That's guaranteed sales right there. What else did we have? Joe and Gabby forever. Thank you for your time, Bear. Love this interview a ton. Great fucking interview. Yeah, Sleepy Bear. I mean, we had all kinds of, that's just what I can see in just the scrolling here. There's hours before this.
Yeah, so I guess if I could leave off with anything, it would absolutely be to you guys, to you two, to the fans that are watching, to the Deathmatch fans in Deathmatch Elite, or the fans outside of that, to GCW, to Brett, to Danny and ICW, and the workers and the Deathmatch guys that have been doing this for every weekend for years and carrying this shit on their back. I have to say thank you all so much. For welcoming me with open arms, and really like not treating me like an outsider, because I was signed to a place for 4 years and I never felt like I was part of the team even one day. Never felt like I was part of the team. So now that I've left that and I've come into this world that maybe at first I expected they would probably be more gatekeepy, it's been the opposite. It's from day one, even if there were anyone that's like, it's just been nothing but love, and it's made all this so worth it. So I need to tell everybody, thank you so much. This is like one of the greatest years of my life. So no matter what happens, it's important to me that everybody knows how much I appreciate it.
Welcome to the family, bud.
Fuck yes.
We're a little rough at the beginning, but like I said, if you show that you like it, and if you show pure effort, you're good. You're good. It doesn't even matter what you look like. If you put in 110, that's seen. You know what I mean? There's intangibles that are seen in the ring. Your enthusiasm from when you even first came out, people see that. They go, fuck, he's happy to be here just like me, is one of ours. That's how that works. No shit. So yeah, I think we did it. I'm scared to say goodbye. This has been fun as hell.
Dude, yeah, it's so sick. It really is.
We're gonna close out the show. Stay with us, and we'll say goodbye to you on the back end, kind of thing. Is that okay?
Absolutely, yeah.
Cool, man.
For sure.
Yes, thank you again, Bear.
Thank you guys, man. Seriously. Thank everyone watching. I really appreciate it.
All righty. We ready to close this mother out for the night?
Let's send them out of here. All right, everyone. Thank you all for listening. Thank you once again, Bear, for the great interview. And yes, we will see you live again next Tuesday night. All right, John.
All right.
Ready?
Long.
Oh, live.
That was pretty. Live.
G C
W. Good night, guys. Love y'all.
Later, everyone.